Digging through history, uncovering mysteries as to why the whites are living in misery. We keep the audience salivating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of the ever-evolving small hat wizardry. Might have missed.
And cow! It looks like we are, in fact, live.
We're live. Welcome back, gentle listeners, to another episode of Ardy and Fist. Oh, it's great to see you all. Listen, a bit of housekeeping, Ardy. I got to tell you, with the recent SPLC bust, Arvy's given me a call and he said that our sort of our fasci bucks, which aren't really fasci bucks, are going to be cut off, right? So remember, like, you know, I told you about, you know, the deal. We're part of the real fake conspiracies. They're fake conspiracies, but they're real, or they're real and they're fake. I can't work it out. But it looks like we're going to get cut off. I can't believe it. After so long taking money from the very, very people that we criticize, right? Having absolutely, you know, no ethics at all. It's all over, bros. I don't know. I just hope, right, that all of the people who did the vote rigging and all of, like, the, you know, big leftist moo and the communists, I just hope they're going to be all right, bros, right? Because, you know, I do worry about them, right? That, you know, like, one day they might suddenly realize that they're just trying to turn the entire planet into like a churned up field of like poop, and, you know, and just be like, you know, what am I doing with my life? Fortunately, that's not a thing that's likely to happen. But, you know, I do worry. I just hope they're okay. How are you doing, man?
I have really good news for you. Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Do you think the SPLC, do you think that's like cutting off the Queen's head? Okay. Come on. They were only established in 1971. Okay. Now, we can still get funding from the NAACP. Okay. You're thinking, but they're black. They're moo. You can, since 1908, we've had the NAACP. Why do you think nothing happened to Don Lemon? Because he had the girth of the NAACP behind him. Okay.
Well,
what's crazy is that the NAACP was actually made before the ADL. That's how long it's been in the country for. So we have institutions, right, that for some reason we never talk about that have been around for this long.
Look, I've asked Arvy if we can get Greenblatt's phone number, right? So maybe we can phone him up and be like, listen, can we get some of that like anti-moo money? I mean, they're certainly well heeled, right? I mean, they're not short of cash. Is the ADL? You know
what's not well heeled is your pucker, and it's because you keep talking to Avi and believing what he's saying. Okay, you don't just get Jonathan Greenblatt's phone number. That's a man you meet in person. It's dark. You can't see his face. He has a trench coat and a briefcase for no reason, and you talk to him in person. Okay, you get checked for a wire. You have a fucking phone conversation with that guy. You out of your mind?
Well, okay. So, you know, maybe we could set up like a dark alley, you know, back alley meet and greet. You know what I mean, right? Like, you know, I'm just trying.
The name of the 21st film you're going to be in, the back alley meet and greet.
Actually, yes, we're already in pre-production. We've got like a banger script. Oh, it's gonna be great. John Quavius, like Longhouse, is gonna star. Avi Lieberman is gonna like direct. Oh, it's gonna be great, mate.
He does know how to scout talent. Okay,
he certainly does, right? They don't call him John Quavius Longhouse for nothing, if you know what I'm saying.
I do, and I think everyone else does as well, unfortunately.
Look, I'm just trying to scout out alternate funding streams, man, right? Like, you know, look, I know that, you know, you wanted to be racist for free. And I said, like, listen, right? Like, you know, I'm totally down for that, right? But, you know, we got to be paid. Like, look, the internet demands a better class of racism, right? Like, you know, you want to be entertained while you're doing racism.
Well, yeah, well, the issue, and we hypothesized this for a while, and I mean, just people in the right wing diaspora, so to speak, is that the demand for the racism in the Newtsies was not, the supply wasn't there. There's a huge demand for it, and so the supply wasn't there, and then it's almost like a knockoff version is what you get, right? Because
but also
supply from somewhere.
They needed like a certain kind of supply, right? Like, and I mean, this is the weird sort of paradox of this whole thing, right? What they wanted is a supply from like crazy people. Okay, so they can look over there and be like, look at those crazy people, you know, in the Satan's Hitler's motorcycle club or the South Minnesota ninja hating society. You know what I mean, right? They don't want it like spreading into the normies, mate. And this, of course,
yeah, that was they went to like KKK are us, like the group, the Nationals, like they went to the left's idea of what most of the right is, which is like, I don't know, a total of maybe like 1,000 people in the country.
Yeah, it's actually really funny the way they like the lefties always characterize the right wing, right? Like they're like, I wake up in the morning, I beat the crap out of my child because, you know, he didn't call me sir. Then I go and drag my wife downstairs and command her to make me breakfast, go outside, beat my dog, and then go on a nice long walk to find some minorities to abuse.
Yes, this is what they look for. I remember when there was a free speech rally in Boston. I'm pretty sure Tim Pool went to it. This is maybe like 2017 when I was in the Proud Boys. And then a couple weeks later, the left was holding a Newtsies Get Out rally. And it was like 2,000 leftists and 0 Newtsies. It was really embarrassing. I'd had to find some like the media tried to cover it and they were like this. And then to them, of course, the post hoc rationalization, they scared out all of the...
Oh, yeah, of course.
They scared out all of the boogeymen.
The cowardly Newtsies. We're not prepared to show up to face the corpulent might of Trantifa, right?
Yes.
They are scared of the girl cock, quite frankly, right? Just, you know, right? Just
packing a gawk. I just love how there's an idea. So we already know that there's no sane people on the left. We already know that, okay?
Yeah.
Indefensible. Quarantine race war 2020, Charlottesville, as we're seeing now, all manufactured. And so now what we're dealing with on the right, okay, is the false choice that we've been given, which is the absolutely insane left or the kosher centrist right.
Yeah.
And so now it really is the time to carve out an actual right-wing position on the right instead of, you know, I mean, we've shown what happened to Pat Buchanan in 1992, where Moose get up on stage and say he's racist. And then, so on one hand, you know, people like to say like the right wing's been failing, white people have been failing. You know, we haven't been allowed. The level of institutional manipulation that is just kicking people out of the right, actual people that want to actually have nationalism, any sort of populism, any sort of advocacy for white people like Pat Buchanan was doing, you are removed. Persona non grata. They have the power to do that.
Yep. It reminds me of what's the technical name for that thing that the melanated individuals do whenever they sort of get into like a confrontation, and they just repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again.
I don't know if we have a word.
I thought someone had a word. Anyway, it's like, you know, it's racist. It's racist. It's racist. It's racist. Like literally. And now everyone's just like, just shut the fuck up. Like nobody cares. Like this is a shocking turn of events, right? And very, very, very bad, obviously, right? Like they need the ability to strike guilt and terror into the hearts of, well, quite frankly, anyone like white. They need it, right? Like, it's like, if they don't have that power to just like browbeat the population into submission, you never know what might happen. People might get angry at them or angrier.
Well, what's crazy to me is what this has done to the kosher centrists' brains. So, as far as I know, they had like some informants. The SPLC had some like informants in the KKK, all of these quote unquote hate groups. But then they would actually aid and abet, essentially entrapment. They would like do like transportation and actually like assist in these activities.
I bet most of it was actually for intelligence gathering, number one, right? So that they knew precisely where to position like Antifa cells in order for stuff to kick off, right? Number one. And number two, just, to try and sort of guide these organizations to make them more extreme. As far as I can tell, most of the people they were paying were just criminals. Any sort of group, you'll pick up like one or two of them, and they'll be like, if you said to them, hey, listen, we'll pay you money to go like do crime with BLM, they'd be like, oh, awesome. You go and do crime for like the Unitarian Church.
I'm sorry, are we talking about the SPLC or Mossad right now and how they select assets?
Well, I mean,
I'm getting confused right now.
I mean, given the, I've got this later in the stack, but the SPLC is an intrinsic part of the Democrat Party machine, right? Like, and not just the Democrat Party as well, right? Like, it stretches across the pond.
No, they're nonpartisan according to them. Okay.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah.
So what's incredible to me is, how do we get from what we were just talking about to the Lindsayites thinking that Nick Fuentes is in Italy because he's paid by the SPLC? That's right. I don't know what the step 2 is to get us to step 3. Rest assured, we're at step 3 in the minds of the Lindsayites.
Well, it turns out that they're being paid by Qatar, which is secretly funding the left to, who are like filled with like moos, because that's how they roll, in order to like be the left cheek of the right ball sack. I mean, I don't know, mate. Right?
What are you talking about right now, dude?
Hey,
you're my co-host. I try and have your back on everything you're saying. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Usually we can improvise, riff. I can't connect any of these dots. It went there at light speed. Isn't it crazy how, like, on the left, they all used to wake up and all of a sudden 30,000 people across the country decide that, like, yeah, what? Trans and kids is fine. How they all wake up with the same message. There has to be, you're right, there has to be a group chat. Because they all wake up and they're like, oh, dude, yeah, it's Nick Fuentes is being paid by the SPLC. How does it even make any sense?
Yes, well, I mean, allegedly. Okay,
Mind you, all they did was give the guy like $70K or something like that. It's like, you had to give Nick Fuentes a little more than that. Didn't a report just come out that he's making like $100K a month or something like that?
Yeah, but like don't think about it too hard, man, right? Look, I have been reliably informed by the kosher centrists, okay, that with the release of the information from the SPLC, Fuentes and Clandis Ovens have fled the country to Rome, apparently. I mean, the thing that gets me is, like, if you wanted to go to somewhere, like if you were like a racist podcaster, why would you want to go to the EU? Like, it's like, they have way stricter speech. I don't know, right? But that is the accusation, right? They're all in Rome, right? That the Palazzo di Spaghetti are cooking up their next move and crying over the loss of their SPLC.
Yeah, I love the idea that they haven't been in actual controversies before. As if this would even be a controversy. All they would just do is go like, okay, well, no proof of what you're saying, so I don't really care, whatever. See, you're mad. That's all they have. They have nothing.
Yeah, well,
I don't even know what the conspiracy is. At least with our conspiracy theorists, I get it. I understand that the earth is flat, okay? And you walk to the edge of the earth, and there's really an ice wall there. Otherwise, you're going to fall off, okay? It doesn't have to make sense for me to get it. I get it. I don't even get, and even the left's conspiracy theories, I get, right? With capitalism, white supremacy, it doesn't have to make sense for me to get it, okay? With the kosher centrist,
It's coming to me, mate. It's coming to me, right? No,
so
look,
good at
okay.
this.
Fuentes is Catholic, Candace is Catholic, Rome, they're going to meet the Pope, right? Like, or you know, or perhaps like, you know, this like Opus Dei or some shadowy Catholic group who is funded secretly by the SPLC in order to, fuck, I don't know.
No,
They got some sinister plot, right? You watch how quickly they're gonna like drop all the Qatar bullshit. Now they're just gonna pivot to like accusing everyone as being funded by the SPLC.
And somehow they were right again, even though none of them ever said this. Even though none of them even came remotely close to saying anything like this. Yeah, you're right. They've been talking about Qatar the entire time. Like, see, we told you it was the SPLC. Unironically, this is what this clan of people is doing.
Well, if the SPLC, of course, was famously run by you know, Abdul Allah, right? You know, the famous, the Qatar, the Emir of Qatar, Abdullah, right? Like, what, you didn't know that, right? The SPLC was a Qatari front the entire time, man. Like, well, oh no, wait.
Speaking of which, okay. Now you guys should know this.
Oh,
of course, James Lindsay reposted someone posting the picture that says, "I've been right this whole time." Okay. Now you'll notice that James Lindsay posted that same exact picture twice, that he was right the whole time. How was he right the whole time? We'll never know. That's another one of the conspiracies. And of course, Nick Fuentes having a piece done on him by Time in 2017. What does James Lindsay have to say? Lol. Whoa. That's it. What about it? So is this like implying that like Time magazine is in on what? I don't know.
Well, no. This could be like very anti-citrus. Is Lindsay basically saying that Time magazine is in fact owned by the Moos, and it was in fact the Moos that were pushing Fuentes? I don't know. Maybe he's on something.
He's even reposting it, calling Nick Fuentes a white supremacist, which is like only leftists call him that. I don't even know if he knows what's okay. Let's just take a peek at this.
Yeah, let's play.
I was supposed to be entering Boston University for my sophomore year, but in response to recent death threats and threats against my physical safety,
Look at how young he is, by the way. Whenever they try to dig up footage like this, it just makes you look like a villain.
He looks like a fetus. Like he literally just crawled out of the womb, and it's like
he's using Neutrogena for his acne right now. Okay.
decided that might not be the best idea. When you start receiving death threats to the extent that I have, it just becomes a liability to my brand, to my academic success and everything else when you do have to worry about people ganging up on you or whatever. It's disturbing to me the level of hate that people have been able to express and been able to feel against someone they've never met, never saw.
He is pantomiming Trump here. Can you feel that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
but this is when he followed Trump. This is when he was like a libertarian, like a small L libertarian right winger.
We were all so innocent back then.
Never had a conversation with. They say that we're the hateful ones, we're the bigots, and I get messages all day long from people I've never met telling me what a terrible person I am.
Okay, yeah, so the only reason why Time would talk to him is because they blew him up. They made him into a racist. Just like James Lindsay gives all these people the time of day.
No, because Charlottesville was basically like an earlier version of BLM, but it didn't work as well. You know what I mean? Like it's the same blueprint, right? You engineer an event, and then you take that event and you use it. I call them like anchor events, right? You use them to like anchor a narrative that you then like funnel like tons of like money and influence and law enforcement at in order to like gin up a fake threat that you can then use to drive a political agenda. It's straight up fucking, I think it's Leninism, that whole idea. I'm not sure.
Well, in terms of the media manufacturing, it feels very reminiscent of that. However, hell hath no fury like a James Lindsay vague post once again. We wonders, yes, we wonders, precious. So
I think I could kind of see Lindsay doing Gollum, to be perfectly honest, right?
yeah,
My work right, precious. No, Smeagol, no works rightses. The works rightses, we hate them.
of course, James Lindsay doesn't care who this comes from. This is an account based in South Asia, which I don't even. Anyway, so Nick Fuentes fled the country. Candace Owens fled the country. Ian Carroll is taking a long break. Jake Shields isn't posting like he used to. Jackson Hinkle. They have a penchant for putting people into a group that have no connection to each other at all whatsoever. I've never seen anything like it.
Oh, do you have the revised version of the woke right list that you made?
Oh, it's somewhere that I sent to you probably. So what exactly is going on with the woke right? Now that's a great question. Okay. Now I happen to run into Killa Lipstick 68. Okay. This is a brand of delusion that is just unique to the Lindsayites. Okay. I don't know who this is right here. We're really busy. The Woke Reich podcast, Panic in Podcastistan, Where'd the Woke Reich grifters go? This is something that I would make to make fun of them. It's actually getting really difficult to make fun of them.
Can you zoom that crazy picture in? Like, what the fuck? Is that meant to be Fuentes with the bowl haircut? Oh my god, this is like
Maybe?
Facebook tiered. Where did the Woke Reich grifters go?
And so SPLC funds and super chats. So they think that the SPLC is, that's a part of it. They are saying the SPLC is sending super chats as like an act of money laundering. Did you know that?
Right.
They wouldn't just send them money the old-fashioned way. They had to do it through a series of microtransactions where a portion of the money is taken away each time.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you could launder money that way. I have like wondered about that, but
you could.
I don't know.
Taking a cut of the money, but you would do that to groom someone. They wouldn't know you're doing that. Like Hassan Piker, for example, I would hypothesize that they're sending money as bot accounts to Hassan Piker on Twitch. That I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, Sneeko, according to someone in chat, like Sneeko is still streaming. I mean,
He's bought it. He's bought it to hell.
Probably.
So,
wait. Before we go on,
absolutely,
I have to show you the revised version of the woke right list.
Thank you.
The proper version, right? As you can see, down the bottom right, the rightest part of the bottom right.
Yes, the wokest part of the bottom right.
We made it. We made it, mate. Oh, mate, it feels so good. It's like the Academy Awards. Like, and I'm just happy to be acknowledged. You know, I'd like to thank Jesus and like all of our viewers. It feels so good to be recognized. Oh, fuck. Right. Sorry. Yeah, keep going.
Not a problem. It's going to happen a few times this stream. There's a lot to cover. So this person, of course, saying I didn't vote for all these people. I voted for Donald Trump. And so I'm just thinking like they're trying to like call me fake MAGA. It's like, so like what's real MAGA? Like a paperwork American? Like, do you think America is still America if it's not majority white? Now, I want you to get a load of their sense of humor. We've said the left can't meme, okay? As we've seen, the Lindsayites aren't nearly as dangerous as the communists and as the Moos, okay? But they're the most frustrating. And since they're the most frustrating, they're the least entertaining. I wrap your head around this AI slop that they own to be with. So the joke, okay? I've done a lot of research on this, okay? And so the joke, as far as I can tell, is that the people they don't like are dumb. That's it. Remember, like, you know how we say the left can't meme? And because their memes are just either I hate them or they're dumb? There's no actual, like, substantive point. everyone criticizing Trump is dumb. This comes off as like not even a real person. They're all on the same side. At least the people that we criticize are on the same side. That's what I don't get.
That clip honestly looks very obscene. Like what is it that's meant to be drooling out of their mouths, right? Like, is it moo cum? I don't know.
and then here we have okay lefty, I'm the lefty, and it says all these people are snakes, and this is after what is his name? Dave Chappelle. What was the character?
Oh,
Tyrone Biggums. Tyrone Biggums. But like, what are they fiending for? What is they're snakes? They're fiending for what? And it's Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. And Alex Jones and Candace Owens do not like each other. They're not even remotely close to being on the same team. And then Marjorie, it's incoherent. It feels like the entire thing I'm talking to a bot is what it feels like.
No, it's too retarded to be a bot, man. Like I feel like bots can only be a certain amount of retarded. Like this is sort of, it takes a real human for tardation like this. I don't think there's an AI powerful enough to fully replicate this kind of tardation.
Unbelievable. Let me just take a peek. Okay. This feels AI so far. So, oh, here we go. I know Fist likes this one. Here, I'll let you read this one. Here you go.
The Bible is my only authority, so I don't look to any man for direction. But in my eyes, it's wild how the Pope has no tweets defending the unborn from abortion. Is that true? No outrage over Christians being slaughtered worldwide or the burning of over 18,000 churches. But plenty of energy for climate change, open borders, gun control, vax mandates, and bashing Trump and Vance. Is this from like when? What year is this? It's not opinion based. It's on record. A Chicago-born Democrat activist in a cassock, handpicked to ram the global liberal agenda through the Vatican. Yeah, I don't think this is AI. I mean, I don't know.
The Bible is my only authority, so I don't look to any man for direction. We all know God's a woman, okay?
It's a Protestant. I bet money it's a Protestant.
It has to be a flavor of Protestant that I'm glad Joel Webbin is trying to tamp down on. I love it. I love the people. I really like to just go out there and see who is defending who's going along with the. Can we even call it a conspiracy?
Where's the account from? Is it like from Bangladesh or something, or is it actually like American?
I would have told you. It says United States.
Oh, okay. It
was a username change. That's all.
Hell yeah! From the United States of retardation. That's what we call it.
Yeah. Oh my God. We got some weird things going on here. It feels like, dude. I don't know. I refuse to believe that it's real.
Okay.
So we have James Lindsay going to John Stossel exposing the Southern Poverty Law Center as actually being a hate group. Them's the real racists back in 2018. Like, yes, we've known about this for a while. Do you find it strange how all of a sudden Kash Patel and this administration, all of a sudden, they don't even use informants anymore, by the way. So,
I mean,
this just seems very convenient that, like, hey, let's pull like that's what you can pull up. Not the feds, the communist feds that are still on my channel, by the way, that tried to subvert the 2020 election, communist feds on camera. Not that. Not all the other stuff they can look at. They're like, you know what? Let's do this like rinky-dink SPLC thing. That'll be some nice chum for the people.
Wait, wasn't Kash Patel's like job basically on the line about like 5 minutes ago, and all of a sudden like this has dropped?
It felt like it.
Interesting. They haven't actually arrested anyone, have they? Right? The SPLC is like still working. No one shut down their bank account.
These are just allegations. This is just to make headlines, essentially.
It's a grand jury indictment. So it will probably go to trial in like a couple of years. I don't think they're in any danger of having their bank accounts shut down, which is a good thing, because imagine if they couldn't get the money to like do all the social engineering required to make a better society.
Would you look at that? Would you look at their leadership? Is Morris Deez Cohen? That's
Richard Cohen. That's like from the Connecticut Cohens, right?
So yes, I believe for the long lineage of Papua New Guinean plumbers.
Interesting. I have a bit
nibble?
of slop before we
I bet you do.
move on. Let me oh wait, should we do like super chats? Before
We could. We could do that. We know how.
I do
We're
know
big
how.
enough. We're strong enough.
I'm a big YouTube boy now. I'm gonna do a super chat.
I know. I thought I would just get at some point less retarded to do this, and it's not happening. I'm the same
King
retarded.
Spectre for $10. What is with that
Hello
profile
there.
pic, Spectre? Is that a real profile pic?
Yes.
Oh my
Why
god.
would he lie? He doesn't have to lie.
Oh, that's scary.
We give him enough slop for the
Oh.
ages. I don't even think that's our slop. Now he's slop crafting over here.
I can't tell whether that's AI or not. Whoa. Thank you very much, Spectre. I must reiterate, some were being paid fat stacks to be racist online or in meat space, while suckers like me were doing it for free for the love of the game. God bless you, Spectre.
I know, but this is the thing. Like, did it say anywhere about online or anything? Like, this was specifically in meat space. Is the indictment, but now it's already getting so blown out of proportion, and this is where the Fed jacketing comes from, right? I'm not saying he's participating in that, but I'm saying, like, overnight, I woke up to this woke up to this narrative.
Wake up. Woke.
I woke up to this narrative. It even started yesterday, and it's just like the whole thing feels like a giant obfuscation.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if like SPLC related organizations were in fact, using money to gin up internet racism, but they would be funding like clown show people, right? Like proper like weird, edgy, like, probably giving money to like 764 and like actual like proper extremists. Like they're not going to be giving money to like Clan de Southerns.
Because there's one NGO we got to worry about, right? Like, if this administration wants to get my dick hard, and I know they do, we would have to supplement something with a discussion about the fucking NGOs. Okay, we'd have to have some sort of conversation about how the NGOs can bypass and influence the politicians, and specifically, we wouldn't have to even do moves. Okay, I'd get it hard for just talking about the commies and socialists. But here I stand before you, flaccid and sad. Go ahead.
Spectre, is that really Javier Milei's sister? Really? Like
unaltered? No way. No way.
I've seen this picture like around.
He's doing some extracurricular work over here.
Dude. So we act. Oh, mate, our SPLC funding from Project 1488 has come in. Very, very nice.
You just got to pray to ball, and there it is.
For continued funding, I'm going to need you to restart the stream, add 2 mentions of Dugan's fourth political theory, and 1 more mentions of Gnosticism. We'll get right on that. Thank you very much.
Is that a Skexy from the Dark Crystal?
Yeah.
Oh my dear Lord.
Aaron, mate, discourse for $5. Thank you very much, mate. Have a good day, guys. I'll have to watch later. Currently being a good employee for my manager, Rabbi knows Bergen-Bladstein wins. That's a very that's a bit of a mouthful, that name.
Everyberg, Blastenstein, Whitson-time.
Total blackout painting for $20.
Hello there.
Thanks very much. How's it going, TPP? I hope you're all right, mate. It's Friday, bros. Salute to my favorite wokest right, bros. Yes, indeed. We are the wokest of the woke right. We're taking it back, bro.
Always good to see TPP. Very good to have you around, bud.
Hope you're well, mate. Christos for 10.
Hello,
This super chat was not sponsored by the SPLC. Wink, wink. Right? Yeah, I see what you're laying down there,
right.
Christos. Nice one.
Okay. And I'm not going to drive to James Lindsay's house and pants him in front of his wife. I'm not going to do that.
Deadpool Kid for $5. DPK. How you doing, mate? I have terrible news, my fellow muse. The poll numbers have shown that our greatest ally has lost 47% of support from American men. We do and we kvetch. We cry.
No.
Terrible.
Well, hold on.
All right. No.
To be fair,
Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault.
Now, I know I can't convince you guys of this, okay? We've shown you so much AI slop. That's not AI. That is Randy Fine's real, actual, big fat boy voice saying that. And he was just on Tim Pool, so we're going to get to that a little later on as well.
Dillweed, member for 4 months. Thank you very much. I'm a Fed. Can you say something incriminating so I can have a half day off? Sure, mate. Sure, of course.
Anything for the feds in our audience.
Anything for the Feds, right?
Feds can be fellas too.
Dilly long balls for $5. Thank you. It's another win for the Nothing Ever Happens crowds. Finally talking about something we've known for years doesn't mean proper actions will be taken.
That's how I feel. That's very much how I feel.
Yep. Always. I bet nothing will happen. The story will like sink into like the media churn, and like maybe 2 years from now they'll be like, oh, we couldn't find enough evidence, and they're not going to get their bank accounts shut down or anything.
It's going to be the same thing as Don Lemon, where they're just going to weaponize it to go they're attacking and being racist. It's what's I wonder where they learned it from, but yeah.
And Rich for $5. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you, bro.
And not 1 cent to the NFAC. I don't know who that is.
Also,
Hollywood.
Nick Fuentes something?
No, I don't think so. Also, Hollywood wants to release the Savant documentary at the best time. The truth will be revealed. Oh yeah, that's going to be like fun. You know about the Savant?
You're talking to TV a savant series right now, so no, I don't know about it.
Oh right, it's a TV series about a white woman who's basically sort of like working for the SPLC. I don't know if their name, but she goes around like looking for damn racists, and no. They were going to release it, but they had to pull it because Kirk got shot. And apparently there's like some thing in it. Anyway,
a little too on the nose, huh?
Too on the nose. So we got a bit of Benny boy. Let's see what Ben has to say from. Oh my god! For some weird reason, my browser window Twitter keeps crashing my browser window.
They're on.
Oh my god!
They're on to you. They're getting spooky and not in the black person
instead.
kind of way.
Pope Leo, who in his sermon before,
I'm so sorry. Hold on 1 second. Chief Rabbi of South Africa, Warren Goldstein. Thank you. Just for the people that are only listening. Go ahead.
And the brazenness and the cruelty to say that all of those who wage war will be turned away by God and that their hands are dripping with blood. How dare he? His hands are dripping with blood because he makes no distinction between good and evil. He makes no distinction between the barbarians of Hamas, the genocidal maniacs of Tehran, and the noble and brave soldiers of the state of Israel who are defending civilization itself. To lack the moral insight to see a difference between good and evil is to disqualify yourself from religious leadership in your essence and in your soul.
Oh,
this is definitely
we all have an essence and a soul, two distinctly different things.
This is definitely going to go down well with the Catholics. He's clearly trying to curry favor with the Catholic population, right?
Only a religious leader who has lost his soul can say such a thing. And we state today to refute that they are kadoshim utahorim, they are holy and they are pure, those who fell because they fell in a just war. If the brave soldiers of the IDF, together with the armed forces of the United States, are not fighting the genocidal evil of Iran, there would, God forbid, be another Holocaust.
Oh, boy. That Holly line is really drying up. And speaking of drying up,
mate, if you needed like a way to like just stop like people from like having sex, I think Laura Loomer, right, like in pill form would just be like.
Now, just very quickly, this is not stated enough, okay? Now, fellas, this is just the truth. Grok, can Laura Loomer own a gun? No, Laura Loomer cannot legally own a firearm due to prior involuntary mental health commitments under Florida's Baker Act. This prohibits possession for those adjudicated as mentally defective or committed to a mental health institution. Sorry, I didn't want to poison the well. Let's be as objective as humanly possible right now.
I mean, I'm not usually in favor of gun control, but it does seem like keeping firearms out of the hand of someone like this is probably a good idea, you know?
And for some reason, there's a lot of people that are really afraid of this nappy-headed black bitch who just has a lot to say, but not really a lot to offer. So I'm not afraid of Candace Owens, and I'm happy to match her energy. I'm happy to wrestle in the mud with that bitch and, you know, roll around and hurl insults back and forth with her if that's what she wants to do. I'm not afraid of Candace Owens. There's really honestly nothing that this woman can do to me. There's nothing that Candace Owens can say about me that's going to harm me. Candace Owens is a liar, okay? And she's a deeply insecure woman who is very unloved at the end of the day. This is a woman who is allegedly in a relationship with a gay man who is always going to feel the rejection of her family, the rejection of her mother, the rejection of her family that she claims left her alone when she was 14 years old, right, to fend for herself. This is a girl whose parents gave up on her at a very young age, and she is not loved. And as I said, God hates you, Candace. God hates you. Your husband hates you. Humanity hates you.
I just...
that's a guy, right? Like that has got to be a guy. You cannot convince me that's a woman.
You know how somebody can get so fat they lose their gender? You don't know if they're a man or a woman, right? Someone can have so much plastic surgery done, you don't know what they started off as, right?
I mean, I guess.
No, that was a woman. It wasn't a very attractive woman. I don't know what it is now, but I know what it was.
Everybody who loved Charlie Kirk hates you. Your children are 100% going to hate you. And if what Milo is saying about your husband allegedly getting plunged in the ass by other men is true, your husband, person that you're supposed to grow old and died with, hates you, Candace. So just, there's one thing that you need to do, Candace. You need to just internalize how hated you are. Okay. Just understand how much oxygen you're stealing and what a shame it is, how much oxygen you are robbing from this planet. I think there needs to be like a quota on the oxygen that Candace is allowed to consume. Just understand how hated you are. I just want you to internalize every single time you do your show and you think that you are, you know, spreading your truth. Just internalize how hated you are, Candace, and just know that you are truly irredeemable. Nothing you say or do is ever going to be able to redeem your dark soul and your dark heart.
Yes, the Christian position, obviously.
Okay, now, so far, fellas, okay, do we feel like there's been possibly some racial undertones in what you... I'm fine with that. I just want to know if we felt like there was possibly the nappy-headed hoe stuff, the dark soul, the big old fat wide nostrils breathing up all the air. I'm just postulating so far. I want to see what direction this goes in.
Well, apparently she's very close to Trump now, so that's got to be.
Wait, what do you mean by that? Hold on.
Well, I keep hearing rumors that basically, after apparently she was the one who managed to get Trump to break with Tucker. She basically made
isn't she like the liaison between Alex Jones and Trump or something? They're like talking through her. Alex Jones mentioned that.
Yeah, right. So she's close to Trump. That's obviously wild. Has to be a good thing, right? Well, presumably because she just suck up to him, right?
She's close to other people. They're not close to her. I think we can all agree.
Yeah. It just goes on, man. It just goes on. It's insane.
Candace Owens is just one resentful ghetto black bitch. Like that's literally what she is. She's a racist too. Like you could listen to this, and I'm not a racist person, right? Like
this is actual crazy bitch shit. I'm not racist against this snorting up watermelons like it's cocaine having ass. Swisher sweet chomping on. Like, dude, come on now. What more? I'm sorry.
Porch sitting, 40 drinking, fried chicken having podcast to be honest.
It's okay. I said I'm not racist against this nappy-headed, dark, black as the ace of spades soul woman who, with her obese nostrils, is breathing up all of our air, and we should stop her from taking up so much air with her mammoth nostrils. And I want to let you guys know I'm commenting on her character, not on her race. Okay.
hate black people. But I say she's a ghetto black bitch because you have to listen to the way that she has so much resentment for white girls, like white girls with blonde hair and blue eyes. And, you know, I'm originally a blonde too. I have blonde hair and blue eyes, right? Maybe that's why Candace has so much resentment towards me. But listen to the way that she describes how traumatizing it was for her to go on a play date as a young black girl in Connecticut at the home of a wealthy white blonde girl with blue eyes. And she really sees Erica Kirk as that white blonde girl that got everything that she wanted while her mommy and daddy didn't love her. Mommy and daddy didn't love me. And I was jealous of the white blonde girl growing up who had mommy and daddy. So now I'm going to dedicate my life.
It just sounds like she's talking about herself like constantly right now. Like I just want to be in the room to slowly put up a mirror as she's talking, like right in front of the camera lens. Go, yeah, keep going. This is good. Oh, it's all Candace. Yeah, let it out.
It's just like when you're trapped inside your own head, just like, my head cannon.
This is why I feel like we don't actually ever cover women talking to each other. We can only cover one woman at a time talking. I don't think I've made a video on two women talking to each other.
like what is that meme, right? Like, you know, 40 hours of breaking rocks versus like 5 minutes listening to a woman.
Dude, they hit the note.
Oh my God.
Every pretty white blonde girl that has a happy family, because I don't have a happy family. I don't have a happy family, and my husband is allegedly getting his ass plunged by Milo Yiannopoulos. So I'm going to destroy everything that I've wanted to destroy since I was a young little black girl whose parents didn't love her.
Interesting.
Okay. Tell us how you really feel.
She's not even asking questions.
Right. So okay, have you got more slop or?
No, we're good. We'll be fine. We'll be able to riff on this for a while. Okay. Now, I just love how I have a man. You know how they talk about representation? This is exactly what I look like. I'm just glad that this guy is representing people that look like me. We look identical. Yeah. To get to the root of this fraud and abuse with the SPLC.
Well, I mean, you did start Ardy's cow urine and curry house in downtown Boston, right? Like he doesn't like to talk about it, chat, right? But like for a while, his curry house was like the top Jeet spot in all of Boston, mate. He dressed up in a sari, right? Like, you know, because, you know, he was, he's doing the belly dancing and stuff like that. You know, he's quite accomplished. You
know how this Asian fusion, right? We have like cow urine in our clam chowder, right? We have I didn't wash my hands baked beans, where you have to guess which part isn't the baked bean, right? It's a fusion of cuisine and culture. We just mash all the cultures together.
And of course, I do hope that all the food at that place was traditionally made, right? Like Indian street food, you know, like you imported like the right people. Because it's not authentic without a chance of getting dysentery. That's the whole, that was the whole draw, right? You know, you spin the wheel, you might get dysentery, you might not. It's delightful.
We actually just make the food in the bathroom as we're going to the bathroom. You really just go here. You're really just pissing, shitting, and puking the entire time. It's almost like the vomitoriums that they used to have in Rome or something like that. You're going to be so stuffed, but instead of puking from excess, you'll be puking from how it fucking tastes and smells because it's dirty, made by their hands, eating rice with their hands. Half an ass. I'm sorry. Anyway, this guy looks just like me. Okay.
So you know that thing about the vomitorium is bullshit, right?
Probably.
So the vomitorium was the exit from the Coliseum, right, where the crowd would like vomit out into the street. It wasn't like literally like a room where everyone would go like bulimically throw up so they could go back and like eat more.
Right. You want to know you want to know what is correct? This would be the diarrherium. Is what we would build. With the Boston Indian fusion.
Did Anne Frank have a diarrherium?
Yeah, you didn't want to see who was in the attic.
Wipe off the ballpoint pen.
And stank over there. Am I right, fellas?
Right. So
anyway, back to the SPLC.
Right, back to the SPLC. In a shocking revelation that literally surprised like absolutely fucking no one who'd been paying attention to the shit for like the last few years. It turns out that Kash Patel, in an attempt to deflect criticism from his antics, alleged alcoholism, and basically sort of like treating being the FBI like a sort of private plane ticket, having globe trotting, you know, drinking with the fellas, kind of being gay and kind of like thing. Has suddenly dropped the bombshell of all bombshells. Let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
What we're here today is to announce what the general just told you. The Southern Poverty Law Center, in a massive sweeping indictment, has been charged with allegations of fraud and using the banking system to perpetrate that fraud. I just want to talk about a couple of brief things here. The Southern Poverty Law Center themselves advertise to raise money to dismantle violent extremist groups for a period of at least a decade. They use their donor network to raise money to purportedly dismantle violent extremist groups. However, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, used the money they raised from their donor network to actually pay the leadership of these very groups. I just want to say that again. They used the fraudulently raised money by lying to their donor network, thousands of Americans, to go ahead and actually pay the leadership of these supposed violent extremist groups.
I know he's reading and whatnot, but this is a really hard sell after the $8 billion from 65 IQ Somalians that we just was uncovered not by the FBI. They're really playing catch up with our own citizens. But
I mean, the crazy thing about the whole Minnesotan Somalian thing is the only reason it happened is because Israel is destabilizing Somalia because it's part of the Greater Israel Project. And so Mossad, right, was like all in the Somali community in Minnesota. Otherwise, right, no one would have ever fucking heard about it. They would have never arrested anybody. It was like to cut off the flow of funds flowing from America to Somalia. That was like its entire purpose, right? And okay, I can't pull out like a thing that 100% evidences that, but that is my very, very strong suspicion. Because why at that place? Why at that time? Why did that story in particular suddenly blow up? Where did all the intelligence come from on all of these like scam businesses, right? You can't tell me the fucking Minnesota government was like gave a shit. You can't tell me they were investigating. You can't tell me the FBI was investigating. No. Somebody else had all of this dirt on these businesses and gave it, well, to Trump, basically, or someone in the Trump administration. So tired, bros.
The groups, as the general laid out, include the Ku Klux Klan, the United Klans of America, Unite to Right, National Alliance, the National Socialist Movement, the Aryan Nation Motorcycle Club, and the National Socialist Party of America, and also the American Front.
Wait. Did they give money to the Satan's Hitler's motorcycle club, though?
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's all of like the generic things that they wanted to push in the media. That's what they were emboldening.
And of course, all the people that he didn't mention: Ardy, Ian Carroll, Clan of Southerns, us, obviously, right? As the wokest, right? You know, because that's what they were doing, right?
And so this is what's been released, right? And I think you'll set up kind of exactly what's going on. And I don't know the step between this and Nick Fuentes as being paid by the SPLC, so he's in Italy. I hope we can get there.
Right. Well, Nick was at Unite the Right. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like everybody else in the American right wing at the time, right? But look, the connection is very clear. He was at this mass event, right? Other people that the SPLC were paying were also at that mass event, right? And although Nick wasn't like the part of any group because he was still a fetus, like barely able to walk, the connection is clear. I don't want to hear this kind of skepticism from Ardy, right? Like we've got a political project we're trying to push here, all right?
Yes. Okay, I understand now. I understand the assignment.
In at least one of these matters, our investigation revealed that funds were used to facilitate the commission of further state and federal offenses, totaling over $3 million. Furthermore, our investigation revealed that the Southern Poverty Law Center, on top of perpetuating this widespread, decade-long, multi-million-dollar fraud, conducted more criminal activity. They attempted to hide their criminal activity from our financial banking network. They set up shell companies and entities around America so that the financial institutions that we rely on as everyday Americans were deceived in believing that money was not coming from the Southern Poverty Law Center.
I'm sorry, pause it.
Perpetration.
Dude, even with like BLM and the $90 million they raised, and only like a third of it went to charities, and the other 60 million is not accounted for. Like, it's just like, it's so hard for me to like care about this. Like, there's so many pieces of fraud I can think of at the top of my head in the last 5 years.
Did any of those people ever go to jail? Like, did Patrice Cullors like go
No!
to jail? Like,
You
any of these people?
You want to know why she didn't go to jail? Because
Why?
it wasn't directly linked to her.
Ah, right.
Because it went through another set of hands before hers. That's why.
Did she have a good lawyer of a certain ethnicity? Like, inquiring minds want to know.
Right now, but now, for example, Tim Hale in chat, okay, was incarcerated for 3 years and in prison for a year because he went inside the Capitol on January 6th, let in, and was in there for 40 minutes. And that right there, very easy to prosecute.
Mate, 40 minutes. Right, man, think of all that fascism that he could have gotten up to inside the Capitol in 40 minutes, right? He was probably walking around spreading fascism, right, in the most holy place in America, right? Thank you very much. The only like violence acceptable in the Capitol is when like the Weather Underground does it, or like okay, like really? only left-wing violence is acceptable in the Capitol. Goodness.
I mean, he would have gotten away with it, but he said, and I quote, "Nancy Pelosi smells like a dry hole." And then when they asked him, "What does that mean?" he goes, "I'm not going to tell you." And then they arrested him right then and there. So, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of reach.
But was that a truthful statement? Is I guess the question.
They didn't want it to go to discovery.
they have to subpoena Nancy Pelosi's hole to make it a discovery of fact.
Oh my word.
Oh, mate, that'd be a fucking tough job. That would be a fucking tough job.
Of this scheme and fraud, but rather fictitious entities they stood up to perpetuate this ongoing fraud. This is a serious and egregious violation of a group that purported to dismantle violent extremist groups, but in turn actually only fueled the hatred. This is an important case brought by President Trump's administration. We're thankful to the president for his leadership and funding of not just the FBI and DOJ, but his commitment to go out there and wipe out fraud and conspiracy and waste and abuse wherever it occurs, including the Southern Poverty Law Center. Even though this money was made to appear to be coming from legitimate people and legitimate entities, we at the FBI, with our great partners at the Department of Justice and in the state of Alabama, were able to comb through a decade worth of material, a scheme that took a decade to build, so that we were able to follow the money, because money never lies, and they got caught. As the Attorney General said, these charges are varying. They are widespread and wide-ranging, and this investigation is very much ongoing. Today, we're here to announce the charges of the Southern Poverty Law Center, and this investigation and the individuals who are responsible will be brought to justice. Thank you, General.
Sure, money never lies, but you want to know what else never lies? Who gets unlimited respawns and who never gets in trouble? That also never lies.
I mean, when they say the Southern Poverty Law Center, are they going after specific people? I haven't read the indictment. I was going to read it, but it's really long. So instead, I just read people Twitter posting about it. It's what I do, baby. Right? I don't know, man. Like, apparently, the thing is, this case has been live for like 10 years.
That's what I'm saying.
And they squashed it under Biden because the SPLC is such a huge part of what you would call like the Democrat machine. And I suspect this is the real reason why they're going after them, is because of their role in the Democrat Party, not because they, got a bunch of like people arrested and, I wish politicians had principles. I don't know.
Yeah. keep wishing, bud.
Yeah, I will. I will keep wishing.
The Southern Poverty Law Center was paying the leaders of KKK and other groups to continue their operations. Is that?
I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. And so what the investigation found, according to the indictment that was returned today, is that they were paying. So Southern Poverty Law Center is raising money, asking folks to give them money to dismantle racism. And over a very long period of time, they were using some of the money they raised from donors to pay to, they call them field, basically to informants, for information, for access, to just pay them for certain to do certain things. And so yes, that's exactly what the indictment charges.
I just want to make sure I understand your.
Dude, I mean, this is not surprising, really, right? The SPLC, much like the ADL, is essentially a private left-wing intelligence agency, really, right? They've been like sort of operating like they like the ADL. They do like training with the FBI. They like spit out like
ADL
intelligence.
Trained the FBI on this same theology of hate crimes, which is just fuck white people. For 20 years, they trained the FBI. That's why. That's why with the with Kyle Rittenhouse, they had to hide footage because they had this narrative that they're like programmed with. I mean, if that's how you're being trained, you know that you will no longer have a job if you go against how you're being trained, essentially, right?
You know, the thing about Rittenhouse that always struck me is how they didn't clone the phones of any of the people that they caught. Like, they're just like, oh, yeah, oh, we couldn't look at their phones. Like, oh, you know, it went by the wayside. I bet you any goddamn money if they had actually, like, looked at the phones, or maybe they did and they're like, this is too hot, they would have found out that not only were they an Antifa cell, but they were, like, being controlled from, like, higher up.
At the trial, they called a guy Jump Kick Man. They called him Jump Kick Man. They already knew who he was. He already had a record. He already had a pending trial for another crime he fucking committed, and they still called him Jump Kick. I'm getting mad. Okay, let's continue.
Yeah, I know the face you make when you shoot into a crowd and you hit two child enjoyers and two moos. I mean, who all happen to be Antifa. I mean, I'm not, I'm just saying, right, that seems proportionally a little high. I don't know what to do with that information, obviously, but so yes, so they were paying, they were just paying, like, right-wing extremists, but again, basically criminals as far as I can tell, right? Like, a lot of these organizations, like I don't know, like, all of them too perfectly, like Aryan Nations and stuff. They're like notorious for just being a gang. Like, they're just like a criminal gang, right? Like, they do dealing and, trafficking and all kinds of like other stuff. They're just basically like a mafia with racism tacked on the top of it.
Sure.
Right. So it's not like it could be said that they are like a serious organization advocating for whites. And if you think about it, Aryan Nations and these other groups probably literally just exist to scare black people into giving money to the SPLC and the NAACP and the ADL and all these other like groups, because the demand for racism outstrips the supply.
Oh, yeah.
So, what is the Southern Poverty Law Center? No, says the Moo in Washington. The SPLC, American charity, it is known for its legal cases against white supremacists and, of course, its classification of hate groups. Now, many people on 4chan have been laughing hilariously at the SPLC and the ADL for, like, ages, because if you go to their, like, classifications of, like, hate this and hate that, right, like, it's, every single number under, like, 100, every single vague hand sign, like they had like milk was like racist, and
they have, I can pull it, the bowl cut.
The bowl cut?
I've shown this in a video. A bowl cut is a hate symbol because Dylan Roof had a bowl cut, and then people on message boards started being like, haha, bowl cut. And I've shown a news clip where they're like, did you know that the bowl cut was a hate symbol? And it's like, wow, there's going to be a lot of Asians in trouble, huh?
No. It only applies to whites, man. Don't be silly.
I'm so bad at this. You're right.
Legal regime that only applies to white people. It's like when you're in the UK now, and there's this big spate of Muslims like renting properties and putting in the ads like Muslims only, Pakistanis only, right? Like no whites. Now that's supposed to be illegal, but it's only illegal to do it if you're white, right? If you're white and you put out an ad saying like no Pakistanis, Christians only, that is illegal, and the cops will definitely come down on you. If you're brown, it's totally fine. Like, honestly, man, like you got to get with the times, bro. Goodness me.
Well, so it sounds like in a liberal society, though, whoever is in power decides the enforcement of the law. So it's not even necessarily important as to what the law is, but more so who is in power to enforce the law is what it sounds like what you're saying.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. So it was founded in 1971 in Montgomery. What state is Montgomery in?
Alabama.
Alabama. Shit. So no doubt it's like riding on the back of all like the civil rights mooish crap, which we've covered. Someone in the comments was like, can you do a beginner's guide to noticing? I'm just like, go back to episode 2. We talk about Saul Alinsky, right? That's all you really need to know.
It's so hard. It's so hard to even just make something cursory.
So, it's Montgomery where they had the bus boycotts, right? Rosa Parks, a strong black independent woman who absolutely was not being propped up by like a group of people from a certain ethnic group who are like known to have affinity with like legal profession or anything like that. Don't want to hear any of that. It was founded by Morris.
Mind you, this was helped set up by a black guy from the NAACP. So there's really a chain of command historically with these NGOs.
Of course, that makes perfect sense. And what the SPLC basically did was they went around using RICO laws to bankrupt what they saw as white supreme groups. Okay, so if someone got like attacked by the Klan or whatever, they then like leverage that, with their legal team, not of any particular ethnicity, obviously, to take down like the entire group and make money from them. And that's basically like what they were doing until I assume they ran out of people to sue. Basically, they shut every single like organization down.
Yeah.
It was, of course, founded by Morris Deez and fellow Alabama attorney Joseph Levin Jr. Oh, funny, like there's no link to that on the Wikipedia page.
Oh, it's probably just some guy. It's probably just a guy that you don't have to know anything about. You probably shouldn't even look him up.
Probably just some guy, right? Joseph J. Levin Jr. Is a U.S. lawyer.
Wait a minute. Why isn't there an early life section? There's always an early life section. What the hell is going on here?
He founded the SPLC in 1971 and was the legal director from 71 to 76. So he would have handled all the legal cases. He worked on more than 50 major civil rights cases. He argued that the landmark sex discrimination case, Frontiero versus Richardson, in which the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a federal law giving preferences to men in the military. Every fucking time. Oh, my God. It's like, there's a distinction in society. Let's erase it and make money at the same time. Fucking, my God. In 1976, he left the SPLC to work for Carter's Justice Department transition team. He was special assistant to the Attorney General and chief counsel to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration under President Carter. After Reagan was elected, he began a private practice, which he ran until 1996, when he resumed his work with the SPLC as its CEO for time.
Revolving door, some would say.
And now President Emeritus of, I think, the University of Alabama.
And that's just the teeny tiny amount of information you have access to, by the way.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right. So this is Influence Watch. Very, very good website, by the way, right? Like, so generally speaking, I'll go to Wikipedia first and, see what the slop is. And then I'll go to like sites like Influence Watch or this is another good one. What's it called? Wikispooks. Wikispooks is good. There's whole databases like mapping the NGO sphere. I highly, highly recommend them. Okay. So Deez was fired from his position as SPLC chief trial counsel for unspecific conduct violations.
Oh yeah, baby.
It's just moos and moo related legal products. Okay.
Hey, it was the 2019s. You used to be able to slap a lady on the ass and go, come here, toots. Or was that the 80s? Do I have my my timelines crossed up right now? Did you guys used to be able to do that in the UK in the 80s? Give her a little tick grab and go, give me some coffee there, sweetie.
You
did.
Know.
Admit
I
it.
don't know.
Or is that American? Did we create that?
Australia, much like Canada, was on like the bleeding edge of feminism. So it's kind of hard to say. Since its victories over the Klan in the 1980s, the SPLC has been widely criticized by both right of center and left of center observers for its excessive fundraising and controversial methodologies. The SPLC's labeling of political opponents has resulted in mainstream conservative individuals and groups and anti-extremist Muslims being conflated with neo-Nazis, the KK, and other extremist elements. Oh, surely not. I'm sure they apologized. SPLC uses its former credibility to smear its political foes. Despite this, the SPLC is cited by left-leaning mainstream media outlets as a credible source of information about the mainstream right to widespread criticism. And they get in everywhere, right? Google, Amazon, the FBI, they like publish like
it's what
all
comes
this,
up in
like,
an
stuff.
AI search. It like this is what you would call the epitome of institutional. It is all encompassing.
Yep. So Morris Deez was a lawyer and direct marketing expert, and Joseph Levin was like a lawyer. Activist Julian Bond, who was later chair of the NAACP, was also a co-founder. Deez and Levin spent most of their early years conducting pro bono legal services in death penalty appeals and suing to desegregate the then all-white Alabama Highway Patrol.
So what I want everyone to realize, okay, is after the Civil Rights Act, okay, fellas, there was an incident called like the Orange something massacre in like 1968, where these commie blacks were like protesting because they wanted to go into this like bowling alley or something like that. And the white owner was like, I don't care what the law is. I don't like you. And the answer is no. And it's because you're black. Okay. They were like, no, like even if they were let in, it's going to be uncomfortable, right? This constant encroachment. And so what happens is they like light like a bonfire in the street or something like that. And the police come and just fucking mow down the black people. They just fucking shot them. They just shot them, dude. This tension, okay? It never quite died down because it wasn't voluntary. And so it's just a constant encroachment. Oh.
Yeah, of course. But look how much money they made off it, right?
See, you're thinking.
Their budget for 2023,
yeah,
129 million for one NGO, right? 129 million.
Well, where is any of that money come from the government?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It also comes from the government. You can. I would bet you money. Right. 700 million in assets. 128 million in expenses, right? I mean, dude, it's freaking crazy. So yeah, after they won the desegregation thing, they started like suing the KKK, bankrupting groups. But then by the 1980s, these groups had declined significantly in activity and influence. Oh no. So the demise of the KKK and Aryan Nation prompted them to shift the mission from traditional civil rights issues to fight purported right-wing extremism. So it's always been like literally exactly the same thing. There's not enough racism. We need more racism.
I know, but how are they able to get away with being nonpartisan? Like, how are they that good at just saying, no, the word just means this? And the right is so bad at it. It's incredible to me.
The SPLC broadened its scope from litigation to lobbying for hate crime laws and laws targeting supposed right-wing terrorism. The change was so drastic that in one instance, the entire legal staff resigned in 1986. The SPLC's litigation includes the areas of immigrant rights, prison reform, and gay and lesbian issues. The group is better known for tracking alleged hate groups and extremists in the US through its intelligence project publication. They maintain information on these groups on its website with a hate watch vertical, a hate map, and offers a magazine titled The Year in Hate and Extremism.
And the hate map, by the way, it just shows a map and then it's not interactive. It doesn't give you any information. It just says that's hateful right there. It just text on a screen. It doesn't give you anything to click on to verify it.
Yeah, it's like the ADL. Like they're like, oh my god, like look at our hate map. It's glowing even harder than it was like last year. Give us money. Right?
It's like in an 80s movie where they didn't really have technology, so just a light turns on the computer, and it's like that symbolizes that something's happening.
Oh yeah, get this. As the SPLC expanded its scope of activity, it also broadened its definition of hate groups to include groups with no propensity for violence, but whose peaceful political activities the SPLC opposes a decision for which the group has been criticized. They should have been arrested. Like what? Like, I thought this was America. Like, what the fuck, dude? Right? Like,
so they have included. So they have a terrorism study, but then they also have an extremism study. In the extremism study, since they don't have to call it terrorism, they include ideologically and non-ideologically motivated killings. So it's non-ideologically motivated extremism. So this is where you get if the white supremacist hit his wife or something like that, they're counting that any law that the extremist breaks is counted as extremism, that they even admit. No one reads these things, dude. I could do a whole stream combing through these things because I had this knowledge in my head from like 2022 to like 2024. Oh, I hate it.
They maintain offices in Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, and Mississippi, as well as DC, of course. In 2017, they had 48 lawyers across the country. It's almost certainly now like larger. Just their intelligence project, their like, little private intelligence agency employs 15 full-time and 2 part-time staffers. And I'm sure, and all of the informants that they were funding as well, right? So we covered like Joseph Levin, Morris Deez. So this is the other founder. He had a prior career in direct marketing. So that's how it started, basically, right? They use Deez's sort of skill with direct marketing to send out millions and millions of like begging leaflets and presumably like, shock porn and be like, hate has no place.
Real quick. So it's literally non-ideologically motivated killings. So we see big text, white supremacist, 73%, and total deaths include both ideologically and non-ideologically motivated killings. Oh, I love it.
For God's sake. So is that just any time like a white person kills anyone who isn't white? Is that their? Oh my God.
Yeah. Do you really want to know? And then they have examples in there, and then I cross-reference the examples, and it's pathetic. But there's no news story. I'm not like doing breaking news on it because no one's gonna give a shit, right? That's the frustrating part.
Yep. Their direct mail program is reported to solicit funds primarily through multi-page alarmist solicitation letters. This has led to criticism both for exaggerating threats, oh, you don't say, and raising more money than the organization spends on its legitimate activity. So they're absolutely primed for like this kind of like stuff. They're supported by like all of these. I think as well, right? Much like the ADL.
This is what I'm saying is the lineage right now of like challenging, like they're in bed with all of these. And these are just the ones that you're seeing. It's like when I talk about money going to Israel, I'm like, Ardy, that's just what's on the books.
Oh yeah. And I reckon they probably do that ADL thing as well, where they like lean on companies and they're like, if you don't give us money, we'll like stick you in our hate report, or we'll go after your director. We'll just generally like create trouble. And a lot of companies are like, just shut the fuck up. It's easier to pay them off. So this is the SPLC's website. We've stood as a beacon of hope for 55 years. Please give us money, right? Donate. They're all about the donations. Their top things, of course, racial justice issues, find resources, and state support, right? So it's basically just attacking whites in the South, essentially, okay?
And then it grew to attack whites all over the country.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. I mean, just look at this cancer.
Classic.
Dismantling white supremacy. Oh,
as I showed in my video on this, okay? I think I released it like 2 days ago. Now, white supremacy is anytime whites get together collectively. I even asked Grok, like, okay, so do they ever support whites that disavow white supremacy and want to collectivize? And it was like, well, they view it differently. So it's like, there's no way AI can answer the question. It's so fun to do.
It's like a group of white people living peacefully anywhere in the South. Oh, we got to do something about that. There's white supremacy. Have you got any money or any children? Fucking just like these blackmail gangs, right, have just been like free to roam the fucking country. Like it's bloody terrible, man.
I know, but I think you're trying to oversimplify something that's very complicated.
It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all.
Actually, never mind. I forgot. It actually really isn't that complicated.
It isn't that complicated. Did you know, Ardy, that white supremacy is a complex problem that we can conquer? Not
Bro, what does that look like?
Right? Like not make peace with, right? Conquer, okay? Hate violence is everyone's problem, especially if it's being done by white people. If they're like black, that's fine. The far right fuels extremism. More than 1,500 hard right extremist groups operate across the country. How do we know? Well, we're paying them.
It's corporately enforced. That's the thing. But
Pushing
why
white supremacy.
why would these corporations give them so much money? Isn't that strange?
Yeah. More than 1,500 hard right extremist groups operate across the country pushing white supremacy. White Christian nationalism. White Christian nationalism. Oh no. Anti-government sentiment, anti-Semitism, and other dangerous ideologies.
Yeah, the anti-government sentiment, not on the left wing at all. Hassan Piker loves the government, right? Very unique to the right wing.
You know, these people were like balls deep in the community relations service.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
for sure. Right? I just look at this, defending inclusion and democracy. All like I just hate every part of this, right? And this is the kind of like crap that they put out.
The Goyim know.
What can we do to stop hate in America? The Southern Poverty Law Center's 10 ways to fight hate.
Let's go.
1. Act. In the face of hatred, apathy will be interpreted as acceptance by the perpetrators, the public, and worse, the victims.
Pause it. So that is what? Silence is violence, which we were all like, hey, that's just crazy online SJWs in 2015, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to leak into any institutions at all.
I love how like it doesn't mention that like the way to stop it is for them to like stop attacking people, which they just do. They just go around like basically attacking white people and just being why are you so hateful, bro?
Know,
right? We're just
I love this picture too. What is this black guy explaining to this white cop? What do we not know? What are we missing that we don't know? It's not like they've been saying anything different for the past decade. It hurts my feelings when you hold me accountable. That's what he's saying to him.
No. He's explaining to the cop his new recipe for Swisher Sweets fried chicken.
That's not a racial joke, by the way, okay? It's not racial.
Mate, that grape flavored fried chicken it's to die for, mate. It's amazing.
You're just criticizing his character. It's nothing to do with his race.
Join forces. There's power in numbers. Reach out to allies. Open dialogues. 3. Support the victims. If you know a hate crime victim, reach out. If you are the victim of a hate crime, report the incident. 4. Speak up. Goodness has a First Amendment right, too. 5. Educate yourself. An informed campaign improves its effectiveness. 6. Create an alternative.
This was shown to children, right? As a part of curriculum.
Oh, probably. I mean, it's just it's just race communism, right? Like, help our Mooish lawyers to like make money attacking white people in the name of like race communism. That's really just all it should say,
Meet every act of hatred with an act of love and unity. 7. Pressure leaders. The fight against hate needs community leaders willing to take an active role. 8. Stay engaged. The best cure for hate is a united community. 9. Teach acceptance. Bias is learned early, often at home. Dig deeper.
What are blacks taught at home when they're kids about white people? What on earth are you talking about, lady?
Dude, they're taught how to like send money to daddy's commissary card.
Right?
And of course the thing is, right, like these last few ones are for whites, right? These are for the white allies, okay, right? You have to teach children, white children, okay, to be like totally cool with the browning of America. And of course, you know, look inside yourself for biases and stereotypes. Are you concerned with all the, you know, minority crime, majority crime in your area?
Quick, you want to know who's not concerned with the browning of America?
They brag about it. The so-called browning of America, which is something I've said I don't care about, because I don't care about that. I care about how people vote. I care about how people assimilate. I care about how people reflect American values in the Declaration of Independence and
I just had that one locked and loaded, baby.
Ah, yes. Shapiro's thing.
Dig deeper. Look inside yourself for biases and stereotypes. Commit to disrupting hate and intolerance. We can stand together against hate.
Oh, God. Ew.
And then what? All of a sudden, Kash Patel was like, wait a minute, I need to keep my job.
And then there was this, okay? So in 2018, the SPLC did a documentary called Alt-Right, The Age of Rage. And this is an interview with their Mooish senior fellow, Mark Potok. And, you know, let's have a look at this, shall we?
And my bosses insisted that we move out of the house for a week. You know.
Oh. What's that on the wall that he seems to be tracking with precision? Anti-Muslim hate groups. So there was 0 in 2009, and now there are 34 in 2015.
Which is incredible because 9/11 was in 2001.
That's quite amazing.
Odd math.
Actually, right? That's quite a rise. Let's see, what has he got underneath that? Oh, the number of non-Hispanic whites in the United States. Wow, like he's selling used cars, but instead of used cars, it's you know,
now
genocide.
Listen, I'm pretty racist. Okay, I'm not more racist than most. Okay, even if I found someone, whatever racism means, even if I found someone who really, really didn't like black people, I still don't think they have on yellow lined paper written down how many blacks are still in the country. That's true dedication. If racism exists, that is true dedication right there.
Yeah, well, exactly, right? And do they work a full-time job instead of like doing it? Now, the question one might ask is, well, why are they so important, right? They're so influential. Look, this is Mushmouth Biden literally saying that the reason why he ran for office in, was it 2020? Was because of Charlottesville.
I ran for president in 2020 because of what I saw in Charlottesville in August of 2017. Extremists coming out of the woods, carrying torches, their veins bulging. Next.
Their veins bulging.
Sweat.
And their cocks.
Sweat dripping down from their chins, playing with little hairs on their legs in the pool.
They were looking pretty buff, carrying those rigid tiki torches. I started to chub up, and I was like, I need to run for president. They clearly have a lot of nice white children that I need to get close to.
Forearms that look like they could just grab a hold of you, do whatever they wanted with you.
Carrying Nazi swastikas.
Nazi swastikas! Very different than those democratic swastikas.
Yeah, as opposed to communist swastikas.
The same exact anti-Semitic bile that was heard in Germany in the early 30s. Neo-Nazis, white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan. So emboldened.
See, he's the Ku Klux Klan, right? Was a totally different group that just really liked like crew neck sweaters. Right. I think he's getting himself like confused.
That was
like
essentially the Proud Boys with their Fred Perry shirts, right?
Yeah, they were preppies basically, right? They like, you know, sit around like in boat shoes and and crew neck.
Golden by a president then in the White House that they saw as an ally. I ran.
And then, of course, we have Obama.
It's official. The most liked tweet in the history of Twitter belongs to former President Barack Obama. In the wake of the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, Obama pushed a message of unity. Quoting Nelson Mandela, Obama tweeted, "No one is..."
Ah, yes. Nelson Mandela, the great unifier.
It's incredible.
I can't believe the way they fucking rehabilitated Mandela, right? Guy was like a literal fucking terrorist. The ANC like did like a ton of bombings and all this like shit. And like the way it's presented to school kids today is like he just like walked out like the black Jesus and was like, "White people, you'll be racist." And all the whites are like, "Oh my God, we're like racist, but we still hate you because we're hiding from the truth of our like racism. And South Africa was a paradise before we got here." Oh,
you need to read more Malcolm Luther King Jr. Okay, bombing is the voice of the unheard. Okay, that's the only way they could be heard. Which is more true.
Of course. I'm surprised Obama himself could be heard with all the dick in his mouth.
Born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love.
Oh, put it in a Hallmark card, you fucking pussy.
Yes, the blank slate theory. Oh my God.
For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. The message was split into a series of tweets, but by...
Oh my God.
Weird, because his father was born in Kenya, came here, fucked his mom, and went right back to Kenya. I don't know.
Yes. Obama's mum, the sort of woman of loose moral that she was clearly also like a fan of the BBC. Oh God.
Wednesday morning, one garnered more than 3 million likes.
Whoa.
It's official.
So,
so this feels like it was manufactured to be used as a narrative, is what it feels like so far.
Yeah. I mean, why are they so important? Oh, in 2020, the SPLC provided funds to Fulton County to assist in the purchase of additional absentee drop boxes and spent nearly $3 million in the Georgia general and runoff election.
I did a video on Fulton County maybe like 9 months ago, dude. This is just infuriating. And you want to know what? There's no quick way for me to say what's in my head to you right now. I understand Mooseburging now. I finally understand it.
You urge the Fed posting intensifying. Yes, the Vote Your Voice initiative in Georgia. It's like, working to advance full voter participation and fair representation across the Deep South. Launched in 2020 with a commitment of $130 million over 10 years. Fuck. So they are a crucial part of the Democratic machine, and I suspect this is the real reason why the Trump DOJ is going after them, not, the racism. But it gets weirder, right? It's not just America. They have tentacles in the UK as well. Now, a little bit of cross the pond lore for you. This spunk trumpet in the top right corner is a guy called Morgan McSweeney. He is the dude who basically got Keir Starmer elected. He's out on his ass now because of the corruption scandal with Peter Mandelson, who was caught being a friend of Jeffrey Epstein and passing Epstein confidential information on like what the Bank of England was going to do and stuff like that. It's fine, okay? Now, he founded the Center for Countering Digital Hate, which is basically like a UK version of the SPLC, going after white people, right?
You mean it's the same thing, they just rearrange the words and act like it's something different?
Yes, basically.
All right.
Officially listed as a partner in the Change the Terms coalition. Now, what this means is that since this sort of glowy, lying, ginning people up, funding extremism, all this kind of other stuff is a route to power, it would be fully expected that every other Western country has groups like this. So if it was me, I would be investigating the UK, I would be investigating Canada, I would be investigating Australia, and probably Europe as well.
But do you have an Indian guy that's going to hold them to account like we do? Do you have a compelling government there? That's what you need. The whites can't do it. You need an Indian to come in and do it. We got to outsource that too.
So, what are the actual claims? Okay, because a lot of the kosher right are like basically running around like
That
now,
would be nice,
saying like, "Oh my God, every podcaster that I don't like is secretly being paid by the Southern Poverty Law Center." Bitch, please. So there are 11 federal counts: wire fraud, money laundering, conspiracy. The indictment describes a paid informant in the leadership chat that planned Unite the Right. So not everyone who planned Unite the Right, not everyone who was at Unite the Right, but they had a paid informant in the leadership that planned it. That informant helped coordinate transportation to the rally, so they would have had information on where and when these people would have turned up, which would have been crucial to ensure that Antifa were placed in the right position in order to help stuff kick off. His Discord posts about running over protesters were made 26 days before Heather Heyer was killed by a car. The indictment says the postings were made under the supervision of the SPLC. So it's entirely possible that this whole thing was ginned up, right? Charlottesville then became the founding event for a $1 billion political machine, and the SPLC installed itself as that machine's definitional gatekeeper. So, you know, now here's Stormy Waters talking about the Fed jacketing. So in 12 hours, the narrative they seem to be going with is all white nationalists, white advocacy organizations are astroturfed by groups like the SPLC. White advocacy orgs are fake, so white grievances aren't real. Charlottesville was entirely astroturfed by the SPLC. There was no legit grievance being protested. White supremacy groups are actually left-wing provocateurs, so you need to be okay with us labeling them terrorists or you're helping the left. There is no legitimate reason for whites to organize, so anyone funding such orgs is obviously up to no good, which is correct. Okay, like this is the evolving narrative.
Yep.
Now I got blocked for making this post. Like I can't think why, right? I'm such a delightful guy, right? So the original post was I don't know. Can you get the original post? Anyway, was that this is why we call them the woke right. And I'm like, look, if this is about the SPLC, it's a massive distortion. The woke right was not defined as the Satan's Nazi motorcycle gang or the Mississippi Aryan Hitler-loving association. It was right-wing podcasters. The people the SPLC were funding seemed to be career criminals who just love money and violence, not people organizing for white Western interests. And, of course, like got blocked for that. This is pretty good. This is from Ryan Long and Danny Polachuk, great comedians.
Hi, I'm Don.
And I'm Ron, and we are members of Antifa. But what you don't know is that we're also the founders of
Not Antifa Window Repair. If you ever need window repair, I got a bit of a suspicion you will, so we realized that by living this double life, we were able to create the demand for our own services.
We organize and cause riots, which then cause damage that creates customers.
Then we take our costumes off, Clark Kent style, and show up first on the scene to get the business. Some bad people out there, so...
Stuff happens, stuff's going to happen. Capitalism by day, communism by night.
Ooh, that's a nice... we saw the media and corporations all benefiting from the protests, and we thought, why not us?
Break us off some of those protest dollars. Put a rock through this window, put a rock on my wife's hand.
Put my kids through college. Some say Antifa is just an idea, but to me, it's $1 billion idea. I think that guy's gonna break that?
Nah, probably just a window shopper.
You want to put this on the Tuesday protest or the Thursday?
Tuesday protest. Single pane, too. See, they cheaped out.
Yeah, the window repair game's a little like the tow truck game. You want to be first on the scene.
Yeah, what that scene's gonna be, if you catch my drift.
We usually come a couple hours before the unrest and take these bad boys down.
Yeah, we weren't born yesterday, Target.
I think it was Kurt Darling in the chat who wanted me to talk to Stormy. I'll be filming a thing. I'll be doing an interview with Stormy on Sunday night that I'm going to release on my channel. So your super chats brought something about, Kurt. Thank you very, very much for that. I think that was it.
So real quick, I have the original for the Soup for Knowles over here.
Right.
There's a reason a lot of us started calling at the woke right. None of them speak like humans. Who the fuck says calling at the woke right? Of course, we have Patrick here as the charter member of the Satan's Nazi motorcycle gang. I can confirm this is true. See, we have a toe in multiple circles, fellas.
Okay, so it wasn't Kurt Darling. Okay, there was someone dropping like big ass super chats to get me to talk to Stormy.
Yeah, he left because we didn't talk to him.
Oh, well, that sucks. Okay, so should we do some like super chats before we?
I think we should. I think that's a good idea. That's good. That's good.
Her chain for 5 loonies. Thank you very much, mate. I wish I was a Fed. Imagine getting paid fat stacks to troll Twitter anons twice a week. Oh, mate, I know. It's the life, dude. It's the life.
Right? Not even the having to like go in person kind of Fed, but like just a chill Fed, you know?
Yeah, you can work from home.
Your guardian Fed that's following you.
King Spectre for $5. Well, that last bit is obviously false. Milo is clearly a bottom.
Hello. Ooh, he's got Hassan Piker riding a horse there when he was like 15. Very nice. Very nice lore, King Spectre.
Drents for 4 months membership. Thank you very much. Loomer is all I need to see to know that trad traps are not worth it, but only if the scale of beauty was inverted.
Trad trap. Okay.
Woof. Trad traps. Arden Party for 5 loonies. Thank you very much, mate. Cheap ad. Follow him on Ardent Party on X. Ardent Plays on Rumble. Congratulations to Kash Patel for actually acting like he might possibly one of these days do something.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy acting like you're going to do something. Okay. That's tough work right there.
Spectre again for $5. Oh my God. Look at that profile picture. Loomer gives me Bogwitch energy. In ages past, she'd be living in a swamp, selling mushy rooms and eating stray chillins. Bro, don't go into the swamp, Billy. There's a horrible witch there. Yeah. Deep Cum for $5. Thank you. Between the SPLC stuff and the stream Ardy did with the J6 guy recently, I'm convinced everything, including space, is fake and gay. It's hard
tough
not to have that opinion. Yeah.
It is tough. Well, that's why I say I like to like people. That's why with like Vrillium, I have no problem gleefully giving someone a chance. Okay. Because then when I find out about them and I go, oh, okay, well, I tried to like them. Right. So I still try to start people off on a good foot, or even like maybe higher above neutral, because I mean, that's why I don't like the whole perspective of like fell for it again. It's like, well, then that's just black pill. Then you never believe in anything, and then everything's dumb, and then that leads to what? You know?
Well, just
not good
retardation.
psychologically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not very beneficial.
Soul on the Lich for 100.
Hello there.
Get him go. Thank you very much. Oy vey, we've bankrupted the hate groups. What do we do? Opens necromancy tome.
It's the only option left.
We better raise them from the dead. New GM for $10.
Oh, Nugie, baby.
How's it going, Nugie?
Rob?
I had a phone Bluetooth snafu while joining stream. So first thing I hear is fist shouting KKK over my speaker instead of my headphones in my work lunchroom. Really butted my kipper.
That's your own fault. You know better than to put this on speaker, okay? That is the chance you take. This is alone. This is headphones in, kind of talking, kind of locker room talk over here, okay?
Have you considered getting wired headphones, Nugie?
Just in case.
Just saying. Ryan Miller for $20.
Well, hello there.
There's an old stereotype of constantly haggling and bargaining for a better deal. This isn't just exclusive to economics. It mirrors their social interactions with other groups who they refuse to give social reciprocity to. Yeah, agreed.
That is very true. Because, like, we can agree that money isn't really a thing at this point, right? There's nothing backing it. It's obviously manipulated. That's why we hear like go woke, go broke. They're not losing money. They don't care about losing money. They'll get it back. They can funnel money back to themselves. It really is more about behaviors than just like following the money. And so once you can see that behavior, they bargain with your identity.
Lolbertarian member for 2 months. Thank you, mate. The moment this news dropped, I immediately thought Ardy is going to have the biggest shit-eating grin to ever exist.
Not a grin. I just was eating shit very sad. It wasn't even a grin. Just sitting there. I made my shit, so now I'm going to lay in it and eat it. That's what it was. Like, oh, this is great. I couldn't even focus on the actual topic itself. I was like, let's just go back to like 100 years before the SPLC.
And CSI for $10. Thank you very much, mate. I don't have work today, so I don't have overtime to complain about. Therefore, you can continue the stream without restarting, but I've missed the last hour or so. I'll ask you to redo that then.
We almost got away with it. We almost got off scot-free.
Right. Super chat's achieved.
Let me just add in one more right there from Rumble.
Okay.
I believe this is going to be referencing Laura Loomer. I don't quite know what it means. I may need you or the chat's help.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Westwood, 80. From the Rumble Rants. That pitch looks like Robert Zadar. Now, I'm probably going to look up who Robert Zadar is, and I'm probably going to easily be able to tell who exactly he is referencing. Thank you, Clint Westwood. Not to be confused with Clint Eastwood.
I don't know who Robert Zadar is. We got a girthy one coming in. From Jam for $50. Holy crap.
Well, I'm getting there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we do in fact have our very first Chad of the Chad.
And now the Chad does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Thank you, Jim. Very much. Much appreciated.
Can't be stopped. Can't be stopped. Hope you're doing well, Jam. I missed out on a real job getting paid to commit hate crimes by the SPLC. Does anyone know if the feds are hiring new racist agitators? I think the contact point is the ADL now, right? Like, but again, right, like, you probably like need to like find like a contact who's in like, I believe the Satan's Hitler's motorcycle gang is the way to go. But you may have to be like jumped in and do other kind of like horrible stuff. But you reach for the dream, mate. Reach for the dream.
So Robert Zadar was in Samurai Cop, okay? One of my favorite terrible movies that's ever existed. He was born with something called cherubism, like cherub disease, where his face grew all fucked up. That is a legendary reference, just so everybody knows. That is incredible.
Wow. Damn.
Bro, come on. Not bad at all, fella. Oh, that's a good one. Very much appreciated.
Oh my God. Right. So let's get on to how the kosher centrists are dealing with this revelation.
Oh, yeah, baby. Here we go.
So Lindsay was moaning and kvetching about the SPLC way back in the day when he was General Hate. Do you remember when he was going around like calling himself General Hate? He had I think he had a t-shirt with it on and stuff like that. Here's his page. Here's his page. Anti-LGBTQ and conspiracy propagandist. So what I want to know is how do we know that Lindsay isn't being paid by the SPLC? Right? Like if they're funding everyone on the right wing and the SPLC thinks that he's right wing,
yeah.
How do we know Lindsay isn't being funded by the SPLC?
Well, Fist, you are so fat and stupid, it's incredible. His in-group is shielded from any of this criticism. It's friend-enemy distinction, okay?
I see. That's why I deserve to be blocked by all these people, obviously, right? For like just, making like reasonable comments.
Reasonable? You disagreed.
One of the harder truths to learn about politics and political media is that the whole affair is a continuous series of one crazy person, shyster or grifter after another being elevated to the heights by people who simply don't know what they're seeing, but like how it looks.
What is he fucking jealous?
Is this James talking about himself? I don't.
The level of projection from the Lindsayites completely overshadows the communists, which I never thought I would say.
So he was on Eric Metaxas talking about this.
Now, very quickly with Eric Metaxas, I had covered this in a video, and I thought Eric Metaxas would have learned from this conversation, okay? What you're about to see is 100% real, okay?
Okay.
James Lindsay, the woke right, May 21st, 2025, okay? So Eric Metaxas knows R. McIntyre. R. McIntyre has been on his show many times, okay? So when James Lindsay calls him woke right and is saying all of these things about him, He's like, well, there's something that's off here.
A lot of the people in the different factions of what I've been labeling woke right don't necessarily agree with one another on everything. Not a lot of them are well known, but for example, I think one of my primary antagonists is a character that operates at The Blaze, which was formerly owned and controlled by Glenn Beck, but no longer since he retired. And that character's name is R.N. McIntyre. I think he is a very clear articulation of what I'm talking about. So,
okay, now let me just say, this is why I find this fascinating, because R.N. McIntyre has been on this program many times over the last 3 years, I think, and he has never said anything that I haven't agreed with. He's been a great advocate of stuff that I believe in.
Like, you would think that, like, I agree with like 100% of what this guy says, and you're calling him woke right. So you would think 11 months later, the spell would be broken. Let's see, Fist. Surprise me. Wow me. Let's see if the spell was broken or if it's continuing.
Okay.
I was mocking January 6th. That was mocking George Floyd and the whole thing around that, mocking the concept of racial justice. So that's how their article begins about me. And it turns out these articles, as hilarious as I think it is, and a lot of it made it onto my Wikipedia entry and all this, it turns out that this has real consequences in the world for people who get one of these things, because now you have this. So I've traveled, I've been invited to speak all over the world. At one point, it was up in the air. It never quite came together all the way, but I was being considered to possibly give testimony about transgender stuff in the Senate, the U.S. Senate. I've traveled to Europe, and I think this came up in New Zealand. It definitely came up.
He has to talk about how he was being considered. This pisses him off so badly that he didn't get to like do his big old fucking testifying and be one of those guys that went up there and actually testified, which would be hilarious to see him in a court, just to see how he speaks in the courtroom. But he has to leave in that he was considered. Okay, that's like saying you were almost a runner-up.
It's considered
as well. When I spoke for the ACT Party annual general meeting that they had, I went down there, and in both cases, it's come up, and with the Senate, it's come up. Well, he's got a Southern Poverty Law Center hate profile. And so with the case where it was being considered whether or not I give test.
So, I mean, this is just like the right wing, right? Where they have these sort of alternative intelligence outfits that are plugged into global law enforcement, and they go around like, fuck off. What the fuck? Like, what even is the fucking parallel, right? The right has nothing like this. Oh my God. Don't you know, right, that complaining about anti-white institutional power is just oppression politics, bro. It's basically exactly like the woke. No, one side has literal private-run, Mooish-backed intelligence agencies that interface with global law enforcement to take down people, and the right wing has like humor and mockery.
The right wing is equal and opposite. You're talking to a math PhD over here, okay? There's positive integers and negative integers, and by the way he's talked about people, we're just objects and variables to him, okay?
Testimony to the Senate. One of the points was, well, the Democrats are going to just lock onto that SPLC hate profile, and that's all they're going to do, and it will actually be a distraction from the rest of the testimony. And so it wasn't that I got, told I couldn't give testimony in the Senate because of this, but it was a factor that weighed in that led to them choosing not to have me testify in the Senate on an issue that I'm also an expert in, that I have something to say about. So it came up again, like I said, in Europe, and it came up again in New Zealand. All over the world, people look at this, and it could impact my professional opportunities. The ACT party, or the ACT party, they hate to be called ACT, the ACT party in New Zealand, and the deputy prime minister.
And now he's like totally fine with the ADL doing that to like people who criticize Israel.
funny how that works out. That's actually a good point.
Zero self-awareness. Like, for fuck's sake. It never occurs to him that those people that he is criticizing might be like mischaracterized in the same way that he was mischaracterized. Oh, no. They're all being paid by Qatar or some fucking bullshit.
Everything is a post hoc rationalization. And this is why this is why it's a litmus test, though, where it's like, you really can't condemn like anything James Lindsay has said or his behavior at all. And they're just like, why are you making me do this? Doesn't it feel culty? Why are you trying to make me say that?
Look at that pause face.
I'd rather not.
You got another one, mate.
Act for having an SPLC hate monger speak at their convention. So it was it costs them political capital to have me, that this silly thing exists. And so it does real damage to people. But here we are. What are they? They're some kind of a front organization doing this kind of damage. Meanwhile, like we were discussing.
A front for whom, James? Who is the SPLC a front for? Exactly. I mean, you know,
Paying the agents of alleged hate to create the image of hate, to script the hate into the world that they want to fight so they can fundraise and have a boogeyman and rally political causes.
Yeah, no one else would do that, right? It's just the left that does. There's no other group that would like pursue that kind of path to political power. Am I right?
Right.
What I mean, I don't know if my audience has been following the story, but what I get confused by, I mean, we know, and I think we're establishing as we speak here, that these are very wicked people. I mean, the Southern Poverty Law Center for a long time hasn't cared about the truth. They're just naked partisans who will basically do and say anything to harm their political enemies. That's what they do. But what actually has the FBI uncovered? In other words, let's talk about that, because they actually, I mean, I guess we know that they made stuff up, or that they created organizations, fake organizations. Like when you talk about, you know, the Tiki Torches, you know, back in 2017
this is boring. Let's move
so,
on.
Well, but do you, like, how did he get back onto the side of James Lindsay? How did he like fight through? Like, well, I've never heard Oren. Like, did someone like reach out and tap him on the shoulder? I don't know how else you would fight through that cognitive dissonance.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know much about Metaxas. Like, so your guess is as good as mine. You know, maybe he got a call from the Manhattan Institute and say, like, look, you should have this guy on. I don't know.
You're a good but you're a good guesser.
So this is Mikhail Olsen. I'm amazed I'm not blocked by him actually at the moment. Talking about the 3 types of grifters. It's so tiresome, bros.
So there's different layers of grifters. There's the woke right grifters, who are just explicitly promoting woke right propaganda in your face, out in the open. They're part of the plot, and they might be getting paid from God knows who, Qatar, the CCP, Russia, Saudi Arabia, who knows. That would be people like...
He was right again. None of that happened.
Being paid by like Mongolia, Taiwan, Lesotho,
Morocco,
Burkina Faso, South Africa, right? Like, who knows? They're obviously being paid because they're saying stuff that I don't like, and nobody like rational would say stuff that I don't like. So they're clearly being paid. Like,
it's worse than that. I've done some streams on Mikhail Olsen over here. Okay, it's even worse than that. They just don't understand the concept of people actually liking them. Because you're open to criticism, right? So all they hear is like fake adoration, and that's all they're used to. But that's not like actual engagement, which is weird because you think with the classical liberals, they want like a wealth of like discussion going on in their threads. It's just compliance. And so when they see other people getting raw engagement, they're like, that's not possible. Didn't happen to me. I swear it's what they think.
Yeah, and the other thing that like the thing that really pisses me off about these people, I think we've talked about this before, is that like work or distance is just the sort of example of this like par excellence. Everything is like an intellectual discussion. There's no real world application of any of it, and like
yes,
like why don't people connect with my highly intellectual discussion? It's because they don't give a shit. Like it's too, and they'll be like, that's the problem with all of the pores. You know, and the stupid people, you know, they don't appreciate Scottish common sense realism.
Well, this is what I was saying to a couple of Lindsayites who are now on their path to orthodoxy. Oddly enough, this is the effect that James Lindsay has. But I would try and make the point that like he's afraid of the dialectic. He thinks that the dialectic is superior. He doesn't engage in it. He doesn't engage in this dialogue. He has no way around it. And so he's actually afraid of it. And so they're never actually, implementing what they're saying. They don't just like, which on the internet is a perfect way of like trying out an idea. They don't do it.
See, I think the reason why is that it is religion that is the way out of the dialectic. Mm-hmm. Okay, because when we started talking about this, right, and I was thinking about this for like quite a while, right? How do you escape the dialectic? Religion, right? when you have like a fixed point like faith, the dialectic can't really operate because someone comes up and says, oh, you know, say they try and say you're an ortho bro and they try and dialectic you about religion and be like, you know, actually, right, like criticism. You just go, no, fuck off.
Oh, so
like, well,
yeah.
You know what if your belief is really fuck off? Like that's how you do it. You have strong faith or belief in something. And when they try and sneak up and do like the dialectical subversion, you just go like, get out of my face. I'm not fucking listening to you.
Well,
but
yeah,
when when you have no faith, right, there are always cracks that you can be exploited. You know, like, oh yeah, well, actually, you know, this and that. And you feel like the faithless, they feel like they have to like listen to this subversive bullshit.
Yes, and this is why for an atheist, it's very important that you start with anti-communism. Because even though you may not know what is ultimately true, you know what a fucking lie is. And so that started me on this path, right? I'm analyzing communism and I'm just like, oh, it's literally everything is a lie. Right? And then once you're infatuated with like, I can't believe every single thing they're saying is a lie. Every single thing they're saying is the opposite of the truth. Your journey to the truth becomes a lot more clear, linear, easy, and like sensible. And this is why you don't hear the ortho bros J-Spurg. They're like, it's built in, motherfucker. It's not new.
Yeah.
We know. It's not a new thing that we already know that. We're past that.
Yeah, and also it's just very simple. It's like, yeah, they're bad news. Right? Like, you know, you don't like, oh, what about like this? Like, you know, just read the Bible.
Yeah, we know.
Tucker Carlson. That would be people like Candace Owens. That would be people like Dan Bilzerian or Jake Shields or Ian Carroll. That would be people like Nick Fuentes, right? We all, I think, explicitly at this point understand this. We recognize what it is. We understand it's a grift. We understand these people are not working in our best interest. We understand they're pushing anti-American propaganda under the banner of America First, similar to how Black Lives Matter pushed their Marxist, anti-American, anti-Christian propaganda.
You'll notice that I do this sometimes with things they say. I just swap out one word. I just swap that out with moose. Like, and it's like the exact it's the level of projection is so fucking precise. It's incredible.
Yep. Oh no, Fuentes doesn't care about America, right? He's just after the money because that's the way to like
they conceive everything,
right? That's the way to internet success, right? Not start like a cat video channel on like YouTube, right? Like AI shoot cats and like rake in the money like a bandit. Oh no,
politics is so easy, right?
Yeah, it's so easy. Like, oh my god.
And behind the nice sounding phrase Black Lives Matter, they use that phrase as a shield to deflect from any criticism from the bad ideas that they're hiding behind the phrase. This is exactly what these people are doing on the woke right with phrases
like Mudeo-Christianity. That phrase.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, the thing you've got to understand is that these atheists, okay, they know Christianity much better than the Christians do, right? Because, you know, they read the Bible once, okay, you know, and so therefore they really are like the yardstick to tell who is and is not a real Christian. The fucking hubris of these people, right? It always just makes me mad. It's like, oh, you know, you're not a real Christian.
Well, I love how you can't criticize what the Talmud or the Torah because you don't understand it. You can't criticize that. Any asshole can open up the Bible and understand it. Apparently,
yes, that's right.
It's the duality of this. I'm very fascinated by.
I would love, never going to happen, right? But I would just love to see like Lindsay or these people like go into a synagogue and just be like, oh, you're not a real moo.
Right.
No, they just accept sort of implicitly that Moodyism is valid. Like, you know, it's very, very complicated.
The open-minded universal liberalism, that's for the, you know, in the feminine Christianity, that's for you. That's what you get. And actually, I had something I was going to talk about today that we're going to have to push off until next week. But Joel Webbin talked to Calvin Robinson, and fellas, it is the God and race conversation that I have been priming for 2 months now, and they had it out, and I cannot wait to talk about it.
Oh yeah, nice. No, like Mikhail Olsen is who this is. Chat. I mean, yeah, I know. Literal who. He's a Lindsayiite.
Like America First. That's grift level number 1. Obvious in your face. Grift level number 2 are people that are calling for unity with grift level number 1. Okay, this would be people like Matt Walsh who are saying, you know what, we need to unify with these people.
Sorry, dude, pause it. Is James Lindsay having us call for unity with an entire fucking country? Mikhail? Mikhail? Is this happening at all, possibly whatsoever? And is it thousands of years of grifting to the point where we make fun of them for just caring about money? To the point where Karl Marx, creates capitalism and he just swaps out moo and with capitalism, still all the same behaviors, nuclear family, greedy, insular.
Just so weird, this, my God.
By his right wing, even though Tucker Carlson had a recent clip that was going around on Twitter I saw where he's saying, I don't even know what right wing means, but yet we're supposed to unify with him according to Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is calling for unity with people like Nick Fuentes. He's calling for unity with people like Candace Owens.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Pause it. Ask a moo what moo means. I've tried asking the internet, okay? You don't get a fucking single answer. It's everything.
The reason why no one fucking knows what right wing means is because it's been subverted by people like the SPLC for like ages and ages and ages. Right?
Fellas,
Remember, like,
that is a pro streamer tie-in right there. That was fucking smooth. That was nice.
Remember the height of woke when like everything was white supremacy, like milk was white supremacy and fucking tying your shoes was white supremacy and, you know, turning up somewhere on time was white supremacy and like, you know, like, it was just insane.
Or how about how any white collectivization is viewed as white supremacy? I mean, by their own admission.
He's openly calling for unity with people like Tucker Carlson. That's grift level number 2. And he's, of course, doing this all in the name of loyalty and tribalism and friend-enemy distinction, all this garbage that I've been talking about on this channel a lot. There's grift level number 3. And this is the one that I want to highlight in this video today. Those people who have simply kept their traps shut.
Is he about to say that silence is right-wing violence?
No.
I bet he is. He's about to say it, isn't he?
And this group almost makes me more upset. As you can probably see in this video, I'm not happy talking about this. This group almost makes me more upset than the other two groups. At least group number 1, you know what you're dealing with. At least to some degree, there's a level of honesty, even though they're full of dishonesty, right, and deception. But there's a level of honesty that you can contend with and that you can identify what it is, right? You can fight it. You can see what it is. You can fight it. You can identify it. You can attack it.
This is so fucking weird. This is literally
incredible, dude.
This is literally what the fucking Bolsheviks said about the liberals, right? Like during the Bolshevik Revolution, like the people who wouldn't speak up, who wouldn't like go on there, like, I hate these people like even more, right? Like at least the fascists, like we know who they are. It's the goddamn liberals I can't stand. Fucking hell, man.
Right? Grift number 2, I would kind of put in that same camp, because at that point you're essentially playing footsie with grift number 1, with group number 1. And it's, again, pretty easy to identify where the errors are, why this isn't right. It's easy to attack from an ideological, theological, philosophical, tactical perspective, right? Grift number 3, though, group number 3 of the grift ladder, let's just keep our trap shut.
Then how is it grifting? Like, how are you making money by not saying anything? I don't understand. Is he talking about people who will not like endanger their business or something by like demonizing the right wing? Is this? I don't understand.
This is what I'm saying, where they say something and then the audience acts like they agree, right? And then you go to talk to the audience and they have no idea. They just know that they're supposed to support it. And so it's like multiplicity. When you make a copy of a copy of a copy, he's a copy of James Lindsay, and then he's trying to copy what James Lindsay's saying, essentially. But he's also trying to make up his own mind about what he's saying. And then down the line, there is no actual. They're just told to repeat things. Is what it seems like.
He's like the Timu James Lindsay.
They love that Timu shit, don't they?
Oh, they do love that Timu shit. You know, I think we should seize it and own it, right? Like.
Because it's not politically expedient right now to talk about.
Oh, wait. Stackademic Slagent says, I think he's talking about people like Ben Boyce. Oh, I bet he is. I bet he when was this published? November 14th, 2025. Right. So this is
beforehand.
Yep. I bet he's talking about Ben, right? Why doesn't Ben speak up? Well, Ben's spoken up now, right? You still No, not like that, Ben. No. Okay. So we're nearly done. So this is Augustus Invictus. I don't know who this person is, but allegedly he was one of the speakers at Unite the Right. He was at a torch march the night before. He wrote the Charlottesville statement with Richard Spencer. And what he's basically saying is, I've spent the last 3 years of my life dealing with a criminal trial and all of its repercussions for holding a torch at a legal rally at which I committed no crime. I spent a month in jail without bond and was extradited to Virginia with a 50,000 volt taser strapped to my arm. I was sentenced to 9 months, followed by 2 years of probation after being prosecuted by the leftist counter-protesters who tried to shut down the event. I'm now fighting the Attorney General of Virginia on appeal, the same communist Attorney General who talked about murdering kids, which all of these right-wing influencers decried. I personally helped or tried to help countless people who have been doxxed, fired, prosecuted, blacklisted, debanked, and all else because they were at the rally. These people were shunned by their families, had child protective services called on them, were harassed by the FBI, the same FBI now promoting this lie about the SPLC funding Unite the Right. See, it's exactly like the right wing. That's exactly like what the right wing does, right? Right? Remember that time when, like, you know, the right wing like wielded institutional power and just like got all these like civilians like fucked over and their bank accounts closed? Happens all the time, mate.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, there has to be an exact 100% opposite. I mean, we're human beings. It's how we work, you know?
I am personal friends with numerous people who are at Charlottesville. I have stayed at their houses, eaten dinner with their families. Our kids have played together. Some of them were at my wedding. They are not actors or paid informants of the SPLC. I have, as a lawyer, represented more than a few of them in court, as we have all been hounded by law enforcement, henchmen of the SPLC and the ADL for years. I cannot count the number of people I know whose lives have been destroyed over the past 9 years because we dared to unite all the disparate factions of the right wing in order to protest the destruction of white America. Every right-wing influencer pushing this lie that Unite the Right was an SPLC psyop is dead to me.
You want to know what that sounds like? Something a Fed would say. Nice try, Augustus. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. But what's annoying is that he has to even say this, right?
Yeah.
How you just, people get swept up so easily by this narrative.
So, you know, and again, I'll just play this. This is Matt Walsh being a fucking retard.
This does give me it gives me a strange respect for Jesse Smollett, because he actually funded his own hate crime hoax. Like he did it. He did that. He didn't get SPLC to do it. Yeah. He put his own money into it. So that's like, you really got to support your mom and pop hate crime hoaxers.
That's complete not a bullshit. Smollett was like really tight with like the mayor of Chicago. They had their own little sort of BLM, SPLC, like grift going on down there, right? Like nothing about this shit was like organic or like funded by individual people.
I know. It's like the organic stuff happens on the right.
Right.
Crazy.
Okay. So yeah, that's me done, mate. That's the end of my package.
You did it.
I hope you enjoyed it, bros.
Nice package, dude.
Thank you very much. I made it myself.
So, fellas, let's cool down right now, okay? All this talk of the SPLC. Let's talk about a man by the name of Randy Fine, okay? He recently went on Timcast, and he said, I tell my colleagues this all the time: worry more about the judgment of your children than your voters. Your children will forgive you for losing an election. They won't forgive you for destroying their country. Too many leaders are focused on the moment instead of doing what's right for our children's future. If we stay on this path, America won't make it another 250 years. It's time to stop borrowing money we can't afford. And of course, Dan Bilzerian comes in and shows him.
Wait. It's time to stop borrowing money we can't afford. That's very anti-citrus. Like, no. You need to keep borrowing. Like, what is he against usury or something? Goodness me.
Him saying this in this like graphic brain diaper the entire time was absolutely insane. We'll get to that in just a moment. But of course, Dan Bilzerian wanted to hop in because Dan Bilzerian for Congress, okay? Wanted to hop in and just show him some of the chats that I should probably not show. So we have Myron Gaines. Get this dreidel spinner out of here. Nailed him. Got him. We have enough anti-hate. Don't look at a moo the wrong way or breathe wrong near a moo laws already. We can criticize moos and our country won't fall. Look up Spain after they expelled them. Oh, he was getting hammered. Smash thumbs down, chat. As the great philosopher Jesse Lee Peterson once said, what a myth. This dude glorifies dead, non-mooish kids. He doesn't have an honest bone in his body, and his appearance is a giant act of pulling wool over our eyes. Now, that actually is true. We have Randy Fine going, guess the ceasefire is over and Hamas wants more Palestinian babies to die. Incredible how this, so this right here makes him edgy, okay? Because they need someone that's going to be kind of edgy to take over for the way that things are going. He's posing as the edgy moo, just so you guys know, okay? Now, here you see a baby buried in rocks and rubble. And someone goes, how do you sleep at night, to Randy Fine? He goes, quite well, actually. Thanks for the pick. So we are doing peak antagonization with Randy Fine. I show you that to set up when I make fun of him, I am making fun of a stinky poo-poo fatty boy man. Fat chew. So yeah. So he's going to be doing what Hassan Piker does, right? He's going to be way more extreme offline than when he's talking. He's going to really soften his message. And fellas, he's going to be talking about us as Americans while he's wearing his brain diaper. Us. What he wants our country to look like. Okay. Should we do Subies before this, or should we just go on with this?
It's literally the meme. Yeah, let's do Subies. We've got a couple.
Sure.
King Spectre for $5. YouTube is getting mad at me for changing my profile pic so much. It's putting me through higher and higher tiers of two-factor authentication. It won't stop me.
Dude, what we bring out of the fellas truly is special.
Oh, mate. God bless you, Spectre. Right? Carrying the boys. And the new GM for $10. Why? I think Mikhail has improved his production quality. He has reached company town chalk milk level. Huge upgrade, and I'm not even lying.
So that's in reference to when I did a stream on him. I actually just started, as I was talking about him, I just started color correcting his footage in front of him. That's what that's in reference to. Because he's talking this big game. It's very similar to Isaiah, where he gets a lot of attention on X, and then he's like, okay, time to do something with it.
Right.
He's still leaving his camera in a flattening profile. I don't really think he's improved on anything. But the reason why we're here, fellas, okay, is to watch Randy Fine talk about our America.
Supposedly as the rest of us, someone who's not inculcated in our values and what it's like to be an American. Now the son's going to lecture us on what country should be like.
My argument is that the process of birth tourism is immigration fraud.
It is,
and according to the Immigration and Naturalization Act, someone who obtained...
So I'm sorry. So he was talking about Hassan Piker right here. Yeah, he's talking about Hassan Piker.
It closes, and
so Randy Fine's strategy. It's what he did with Dan Bilzerian. Okay. Anyone that's born since this moo was born here, okay? His strategy is going to be like he's an American, okay? He doesn't like dual citizens. He was born here. So anyone else that has had citizenship somewhere else, he's calling that out, of course, with unlimited respawns like we've never seen before. Now, of course, Hassan Piker is against the moos, right? So, of course, he's going to go after Hassan Piker. And this is him being right wing for the kosher centrists.
I just got to step away for a minute, mate. I'll be back in a sec.
Well, I'm excited that you get to miss this. So I'm going to go along with Randy Fine right now.
Leave. Doesn't even go to, they just shut it and say, we're out of here. And then the Democrats demand that they actually stay and operate it. And then you end up with Mamdani opening a $30 million supermarket, which is going to be, by the way, much more expensive per square foot than the Whole Foods that regular people can't afford to shop.
That's like $27 million.
None of this makes any sense in the real world.
Think about what's going to happen to this Mamdani government grocery store. People are going to steal everything. And the government worker is going to be sitting there, she's going to be filing her nails, and the guy's going to grab a big, she's like, I don't care.
We had government grocery stores.
$30 minimum wage. I'm not doing anything.
$30 minimum wage?
Isn't it that? Isn't it $30?
People who were trying to get snow out of the streets with shovels, they were paid $40+ an hour. And their incentive, of course, was to stay on the job as long as possible.
They didn't do it, though, right?
Shovel is little snow because
we had to have an
to
ID.
collect a check.
I think, we got this article from the New York Times. This is why there's no liberal Joe Rogan. It used to be titled Hassan Piker is not the enemy or something like that. And I just look at this picture of all these people gathering around Hassan Piker, and I'm just like, I think the collective IQ of this whole group is maybe like 400.
Well, Hassan's issue, I think his issue, I don't want to put...
And it's all Hassan, by the way.
Is that
his IQ is just through the roof.
Is that he doesn't like people? I think he kind of has a lot of anger. Rogan doesn't have anger towards. He beats it out in the gym. I mean, Hassan might not be
hateful. I don't think he's really. I don't know. He just seems like he's like pissed off a lot and like willing to say horrific things.
Well, you have to
Rogan
is not going to touch.
I'm not going to rag on Hassan for complaining about stuff and being angry because we're angry and complain all the time as well.
I mean,
my bigger concern is that he's a liar.
Well, his whole shtick is a lie. He is someone.
His whole shtick is a lie. Says the guy with the fucking what you would buy at Old Navy graphic tee department store brain diaper right now. Continue, Randy.
And then this is part of the problem in America today. He's from Turkey. His parents were from Turkey. They came to the United States.
This is never goes. Isn't Ben Shapiro's wife Israeli? Wasn't she born in Israel?
Yeah, I think so. But that's different,
yeah.
Right? Like you have to understand that the essence of America is Mooish, right? Without the Moos, there would be no America, right? Like they are the canary in the coal mine. They are the essential people. You can model everything about America by how well they treat their Moos, right? They are like the essential people. You could get rid of every single Christian in America and it wouldn't change at all. You can get rid of all of the whites. But if you remove the Moos from America, it wouldn't be America.
I covered this in the video that I made recently with B'nai B'rith, okay? One of the principles of B'nai B'rith, it's not blood and soil, okay? It's progeny and land. Completely fucking different, okay?
Oh my God.
It's completely different.
Fucking hell.
So, scooting along.
I've got a clip as well. If you want.
Actually, yeah, if you want to hop in with that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go on a whole tirade.
Can you do you know the specific line from the Hadith pertaining to what makes the end come?
So pause real quick.
You don't. It was in the Hamas Charter.
For anyone listening, Myron Gaines left a super chat for $10 that says the Talmud is 10 times worse. Under this.
Can I read it for you?
You sure can.
Here we go. The hour will not be established until you fight with the Jews, and the stone behind which a Jew will be hiding will say, "O Muslim, there's a Jew hiding behind me, so kill him." That is that the it's in the Hadith. So I ask you this, Ian, because considering that's one of their religious texts.
Yes, Tim. Why would the Muslims have a problem with the Moos? Could it be that it was a Yenta that poisoned Muhammad and killed him? Do you think that might have something to do with it?
Now, did you get a whiff of that Yenta?
Yentas?
Very nice.
Well, I mean, it's Muhammad's fault for being a degenerate, I guess.
And then how many Jews? You said in the
15 million.
In the diaspora?
There are more Jews in the world. Yes, there are fewer Jews today than there were before the Holocaust. Jews have not even repopulated.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
So let me, I just want to throw this out there. Considering the religious,
I would not trust Moorish population figures. Is all I'm saying. Might
Really?
be right. Might be wrong.
Well. How many were there? I'm curious to know.
Yeah.
Drive and the 1.2 billion. Do you believe there'll be more money in favor of anti-Jew or pro-Jew?
Oh, I don't know.
Really?
Who's printing the money?
You read the
Isn't he beautiful? Talk about a savant.
Oh, Ian, you fabulous retard.
Yeah, you glorious son of a bitch.
Oh, who's printing the money? Don't want to ask that, mate.
Is that difficult, huh? 1.2 billion people with a religious text saying to kill Jews.
Oh, sorry.
It's
You're
okay.
saying
16.5 million allegedly.
And 15 million people who don't want to be killed, but whose religious text is there religious text in Judaism that says to kill Muslims?
No, but Islam didn't exist when the Jewish religious.
No. Yes. Well, the Muslims would technically be the Gentiles, and they have more modernly sort of been thought of as the sons of Ishmael. So you would have to read a little bit into the text, but all of the texts, like all of these sort of commandments about Gentiles, generally, of course, would be applied to the Muslims, right? Islam, of course, famously did not exist until about 1000 AD, whereas the Talmud was compiled around 400 AD. So, you know. Oh, and if you want to know more about Moorish history, check out Fistory, my show on my YouTube channel. It's a cracking good time.
text work.
I think there are some quotes, however, from religious leaders that have made comments about it.
By the way, no group of people has a monopoly on bad people.
Agreed.
Right. So yes.
So my point is, when was the Hadith written? Because that could be, is that 1,000 years old? I don't know.
No.
It'd be ancient when they used to have fights with the Jews and the Arabs. Would
They
fight each
still
other.
do.
He really is. He's more retired than Jake Shields, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Oh, mate.
What do you mean? Not really. It used to be like real bad.
It is now.
Real government.
Tell the people who've been hiding.
What do you think it was back then, bro?
That's what Hezbollah is terrorist.
They removed it from their charter on purpose. It wasn't.
They
like,
removed it from their charter within
But
like the
that's-
past couple of years. Like within the past 10
and that's
years.
not a comment on the existence of the Hadith itself.
It's
My
not.
point
it's
is
not
simply
that
this:
they removed. They
if
removed it in order
1.2
to appeal to American, to
Lefties,
appeal to American
if
progressives.
1.2 billion people donated $1 towards not liking Jews, and 15 million people donated $1 towards defending.
Yes, but if 50 million people donated $1,000, like what the fuck is this argument?
It starts getting silly, right? The longer
Oh
it goes
my
on.
god. Right? Like, yes, if these two groups of people, right, who have completely comparable amount of influence over the largest and most powerful military on the planet.
Do you want to know? Now, you can use a lot of words, okay, when it comes to the moves. Do you want to know what word you never have to use?
What's that?
If. There's no more if. What if is there? Thousands of years of history. Same thing. There is no if. You've lost if privileges.
Yeah.
Jews. Who has more money?
Here's the statistic I'll give you. I can look on X. I can see where my comments come from. Amazingly, 30% of the people who comment on my stuff are not from America. And for every one comment I get from Israel, I get 60 comments from Turkey and Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, and sometimes, not recently, Iran and other places. There's just a whole lot more of them. But you talked about Islamophobia, and it's a fascinating word. I talk a lot about it.
Mhm.
We have words that describe bad behavior.
What the fuck
Is
this?
anti-Semitism gonna come up? No. Oh, dude. I might have this written down. Okay, everyone. Only me, actually. I'm just talking to myself. Ardy, take a breath right now. Just take a breath. Take a breath. Okay. Listen to what he's going to say about anti-Semitism, and I wouldn't be able to be in the room with him saying this. I can't handle it now. Get ready.
Bad, right? You're against a race. Sexism, bad. You're against a sex. Anti-Semitism, bad, because you're against Jews. Why pick the word Islamophobia? There's nothing in that word it's not anti-Islam. It's not anti-Muslim. Islamophobia, if you break it down, it's Islam and it's fear. And it says it's irrational fear. And Islamophobia, the term was created as a sword to silence dissent, to silence questions, because
not like anti-Semitism.
The privileges that they get with language, dude. Don't you? But do you see? Do you see how he's trying to be the right-wing kosher centrist? Right?
Yeah.
He's like, listen, like we should be afraid of Islam. Like they're violent, and it's like, okay, well, can we be afraid for our, I don't know, white children in finances because of the moves? Can I be scared of something, please? I'm tired of being brave.
Fortunately, right, like Israel is just the most peaceful country on earth, really. Like, they never started a war. Like, it just, no one wants to mess with them. They don't mess with anyone else. Like, oh, mate.
Part of Islam is that you can't criticize it.
We actually
blasphemous to do so.
You can criticize the moves, though, right? I wouldn't be able to be in the room. I can't be in the room that I'm in right now. I want to jump out the window. Oh my God, dude, the level of projection that we're doing right now is actually boiling my brain.
And there's this one as well. check this shit out too.
It's one of the funny things about being me. I always get accused of being a dual citizen. I'd never even been to Israel until I was in my 30s.
Beautiful.
My family is actually from there, but I've been there a lot, actually, mostly since I got elected.
So okay, right. So do you see the position he's taking where other moos might have dual loyalty? So they need a moo to go out there and go, hey, I'm American. I've always been American. Even though he gets really excitable over Gazan babies being covered in fucking rubble. I'm sure that's a coincidence, though. But on record, on paper, he only has gone to Israel in his 30s and after he was in government. By the way, do you know what he did before this?
What?
Oh, God, I got to look it up. He managed casinos before this. For like 15 years. He graduated from Harvard, very woke, and then in business. and then ran casinos until all of a sudden he was in government for maybe like 2 or 3 years. He's still new to being in government, by the way. Very similar with JD Vance.
Okay, you got more of this?
I got too much more. Okay. Fellows, let's think about the America that our children, including Brain Diaper over here, is going to inherit.
Oh, perhaps, yeah. Cause fights. But many Republicans just keep their heads down, shut up.
Because it's easier to do.
Yeah, because regarding the decline of America and like reversing that, what are you like into the technocracy? I don't see like a better world than a technocracy. I just don't want global totalitarian networks that seize your free speech and shut off your bank account.
Well, but that's where we're headed. I mean, that's what the liberals were doing. They were deplatforming everyone who disagreed with them. That's what they were using technology to do. We're the side that wants to let people be able to say what.
Now, Fist, have we possibly covered global summits?
Oh my God, the chutzpah.
People.
It's the left that wants to shut down your speech, right? We're totally for free speech as long as you don't criticize the movies.
They're literally instituting this across the West. Let's call them people of diaper, are getting together globally with conventions every week to talk about how they can get around free speech, right? Because sure, there's free speech, but anti-Semitism is different, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You know, because it encourages like hate towards like minority groups, and that is not acceptable. That's not a part of free speech. I know this because I'm fucking in the UK.
Yeah, we all know. We all know that it's more permissible to go into a host country, hate the majority group, get kicked out, and fucking cry about it 109 times. That's what you should do.
Whatever they want. You know, you may get criticized for doing it, but I think there's too many people who are willing to just go along with the grand.
There's not that many Tim Pool beanie jokes. Tim is beanie mugging this man. It's one of the best Tim Pool beanie jokes I've ever heard.
And slide, and it is very, very frustrating, and I wish we were willing to fight more. I do this job for 2 reasons. They're my children, and I'm very, very worried about what the future holds for them. I'm not convinced that the America they'll inherit will be the America that we grew up in.
You're gonna make the America that we grew up in.
Uh-huh.
Goes to Harvard, runs a series of casinos in Las Vegas, by the way. It's not like, you know, rinky-dink casinos in the South or on the East Coast. You know, the America the gated community that all of us grew up in, you know?
What city? Do you know? Like, I mean, he's from Florida, right?
Oh, no. Just pull up. Just pull up his Wikipedia. I know okay. You're dying to know.
Okay. Oh, I'm just curious.
I'll play this right now. Let me know when you have it up.
Make sure that they lift, you know, and they're trained with the firearms.
I wanted my oldest son to watch tonight, but he's at the gym. So
why don't you go and join him, dude? Oh my God. My son's at the gym. Very pathetic. He doesn't go to the gym, but my son works out enough for both of us.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. There you go.
It seems like it's like society's hanging on to the 20th century with oil and all these old technologies.
Get this guy away from everyone's children. Okay. So, of course, Nick Fuentes invariably comes up in this conversation.
Do you want to know a little bit about Randy?
I'm buying time, baby. Do it.
So, Randall
early life. There we go.
Randall Adam Fine. It would have been Feinberg, by the way, right? Like for sure. And then was like anglicized. Nice. From Tucson, went to MIT. Was a professor. No, this is his father. Right. Sorry, it was an MIT. Born in Arizona, raised in Kentucky. Graduated from Harvard with a bachelor's degree in government and earned an MBA from Harvard.
Wait a minute. School. I'm sorry. A bachelor's degree in government. What?
Yeah. Well, you can do that.
Just basically. In general government. Is that like the liberal arts of political science?
Yeah, sort of. It usually focuses on the policy end of stuff. After working for McKinsey and company.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Is that strange to anybody that he got a bachelor's degree in government and then went into business and then didn't do anything in the government until maybe like 3 or 4 years ago? That's strange at all. Really cashed in on that pretty well.
So he worked for McKinsey and Company, which is an American multinational strategy and management consulting firm.
Very quickly.
That offers professional services to corporations, governments, and other organizations. Sounds a bit like the kind of shit like Blair does. So like they manage the managers, basically.
This is why it's impossible. This is how long it's about to take us on this one minute fact, okay? For anybody wanting us to do some sort of overview, it's fucking impossible. Okay.
Right. Sorry.
It's not fucking possible. It's interesting though. It keeps going. Okay.
And say, aha, people are going to leave New York. They want that. It allows them to consolidate power because the people who are leaving are the people who vote against this. But if you pull your investment out, they have no power. They will lord over a pile of ashes. If people keep investing in New York City, despite knowing the psychopathic crackpot has taken over, you will enrich and empower him. He will steal your assets. You put that money in his jurisdiction. He will put it in his pocket. So instead of just threatening to do it, why don't you go ahead and do it?
Well, the issue I have with the headline that you showed before is they're all leaving and moving to Florida. And as a Floridian, as a Floridian, I should like that, right? My state's booming, everybody's coming. But here's why it's bad. New York's going to collapse because everyone will leave. See, if I don't like American policies, I have three choices in American. I can burn my passport, pay my taxes, or go to jail. If you don't like what they're doing in New York, you can just get in your car and drive away. And that's what a lot of people are doing. But what's going to end up happening, and this is why every American needs to be worried about this, when New York goes bankrupt, they're going to come to the taxpayers of the other 49 states and say, you have to bail us out. It's why we all have to care, because New York's problems will ultimately become all of our problems.
Well, I'm maybe the
dude. Look, it's fine. They can just print infinite money. I don't know what you're fucking like so concerned about, man. Right? Like the essence of America is the ability to print infinite money. It's like there's like the fundamental pillar of the American empire.
I mean,
just print more money, bro.
I mean, they can bail the banks out. I don't know why they can't bail out the people that have money in the banks, you know?
Oh god.
Harsh reality is that Trump does not have the capability to deal with issues like this, but he's butting up with Mamdani in the Oval Office. Trump should be exerting every avenue possible to be stopping things like this from happening. He doesn't do it. So it's no surprise that you've got so many people turning on Donald Trump, and these podcasters, these specific individuals that he's called out, are finding it is very lucrative to be against him. And I think the reason is you've got the younger conservative guys. Many of them flock towards people like Nick Fuentes. Fuentes says, screw Trump. Don't support him. Vote for the Democrats. Republicans deserve to lose. So Trump's losing the support. And then I'm sitting here saying, like,
Fuentes saying to vote for the Democrats. Can you even conceive of a good reason to do that? Can you conceive of a defensible reason, or what the point of that even was?
To vote Democrat? Well, no. I mean, look, wow. Which branch of the Uni Party are you going to vote for? Oh, I'm going to vote. You're going to vote for the right-wing moves or the left-wing moves?
Well, no, but at the same time, Trump was, at the very least, not let in more illegal immigrants, right?
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Wouldn't the argument be to that, it is progressive, it is commies going the speed limit, but don't we want them? What our options are: go the speed limit or turn the faucet on and let in millions of illegals a year again. So, I mean, I don't understand. Like, he's just frustrated, doesn't care. Like, it just, all it did is just create a headache. And this is why it's like he really is. Nick Fuentes is coalitional poison. They can try and play nice with him, but he's always going to fucking turn his back on you and do shit like that. It's tough.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, I don't know what I get for voting for Republican either, other than a speed bump for Democrats. And by all means, it's a fair argument. It's better to have Republicans do nothing than Democrats burn it down. But if the argument is manage decline or decline, I'm going to choose prepping. I'll just say, okay, well, then I'm not interested in any of it, because I can dedicate my time and energy to saying, man, we better get to a Republican Congress to take the majority this time around. And then what happens? The SAVE Act, 80% support across the country, and they won't pass it. So the thing is, if I felt that it would be punishing for Republicans to vote against them, I would, but it's not. Right. So Dave Smith says Republicans deserve to lose. He's like, I wouldn't advocate giving Democrats the White House or anything like that, but they need to be punished. Nick Fuentes says something similar. The problem is people like Thune, he doesn't care if they lose the majority. He's gonna laugh the whole time. He's obstructing this intentionally. So the problem is you can vote for Republicans and get nothing, or do nothing, and then Democrats just burn everything down.
The problem, though, is once Democrats burn everything down, we're living in ashes, and so that's not great.
Well, I mean, I moved out to the middle of nowhere and I own chickens, and like I'm just saying, I'm preparing because it's either going to happen next year or the year after.
By the way, all the places where they sent all the Haitians and they started eating the cats and eating the dogs, it was a place like this. So you never know what'll happen at the.
You see how he's on our side, fellas? He said eating the cats, eating the dogs, repeating the Trump line. This is their Hassan Piker. This is their Joe Rogan. This is their fighting force for the kosher centrists right now.
I wish
in position of government.
I wish Ian would ask him about Hias. Just be like, What's your opinion on the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, Randy? Like, you know, and Alexander Mayorkas. Like, and he's
relying on Ian for the wild card. You're like, dude, someone put it perfectly. He roll out of 20 times, he rolls 19 times and then rolls a perfect 20 on the 20th time.
Yeah, for real.
Democrats.
Well, no, that can't happen here because the DC people fleeing the crime moved to the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia.
Oh, so you found the one safe place. If you expect,
until they overrun us. And
There's trans flags in my neighborhood.
if you expect me to defend what's going on with Republicans in Washington, I'm not going to do it because I'm so frustrated. I don't understand it myself.
It's got to be aliens.
So,
The only explanation.
I think it's because it's hard. It is hard to fight. It's easier to just go along to get along. It's easier to say, I'll make that someone else's problem. Or I don't want it to get in the way of my reelection, or I don't want it.
So what should we do, Randy Fine? Should we collectivize as white people, purchase private property, and go and live in the woods and build our own societies? Or is he supporting that? What is he recommending right now that people do? How do they stand and fight, dude? And I love the predictive programming too. It's like, yeah, it's easier just to sit there and do nothing, you know? But then, you know, you got to fight against it. How, Randy?
Just stay within exactly the same system that brought us all of these like problems. And everyone acknowledges that like it's not going to fix anything. Your choice is between like things degrading faster or things degrading more slowly. And you're like, could you perhaps like consider something else? No. That's very hard.
Now, fellas, some of you, possibly most of you out there, are white. Okay.
Why doesn't this chick brush her fucking hair?
Brush her face. Why doesn't she?
No. Just brush your goddamn hair like you're on camera. Like,
do you really think that would do a whole lot for her? Okay.
No, but I mean, still, like,
she's at that age. Have you ever seen a woman that's like relatively attractive in like her early 20s, but you go, I know how that's gonna fall apart at 50.
Yeah,
you can already see how the face. Yeah, there's not a lot she can do. There's really not a lot. She's owning it, I think. But fellas,
yeah, that's a Yenta, isn't it? That's
surely. You need Randy Fine to explain to you, okay, how dangerous it is to look mooish in parts of the world. Okay, you live in the United States, white supremacy. You don't know what it's like to be white in certain neighborhoods, okay, and feel uncomfortable, specifically being targeted because you're white. So sit down. Let me have Randy Fine educate you on this concept for a moment.
In the Muslim religion, the Dome of the Rock, right there. And since 1968, Israel hasn't blown it up. They haven't destroyed it. They haven't even had Jews be in charge of the Temple Mount. They let people from Jordan, who they took it from, be in charge. I went to the top. I went to the Temple Mount when I was in Israel a couple of years ago, and it's fascinating. Muslims can go to the holiest site in Judaism, the third holiest site in Islam, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's 8 or 9 ways they can get in. Non-Muslims can only go.
Yes.
The Al-Aqsa Mosque is not the holiest site in Judaism. Oh, for the love of God. Dude, the Wailing Wall is the holiest site, right? And there is some debate over whether it's supposed to be the remains of the temple. But some people believe that it's just the remains of a wall of the Roman garrison or whatever, right? Like, the Al-Aqsa Mosque is not the holiest site in Judaism. If they destroy Al-Aqsa and rebuild the temple on the site, then it would be the holiest place in Judaism. Like, what the fuck is this?
Terrific work, Fist. I love it.
A few days a week at certain times, there's only one entrance. And when you go in that entrance, they put you into one of two groups. If you look Jewish or if you don't look Jewish. By the way, we're told that Israel is all about apartheid. This is real apartheid. Well, when I went, I tried not to.
This is real apartheid.
Real apartheid.
Is that what I get to call it if I go to the south side of Chicago or, I don't know, the lower third of my city?
I mean, and what he's failing to mention as well, okay, is that there is a long and enduring tradition of like Moorish groups infiltrating into Al-Aqsa and then like causing trouble, like smashing stuff up and like generally like creating like a nuisance. So it's not surprising that they want to keep the moves out of Al-Aqsa. And plus it's the most holy site in Islam. I mean,
can I just add some meaningful context to what you're saying? That I don't know if you intentionally left it out, but you should also admit that it's not all of them. Okay, just wanted to give you that a little bit of friendly pushback right there.
Yeah,
if you thought about how it's not all of them.
Yeah.
To look Jewish. I looked as American as I could. You know why? I went with my younger son. We went up there. If you don't look Jewish, you can go anywhere you want. You can walk around. You can go anywhere you want. You can't go in the Dome of the Rock. You can't go in the Al-Aqsa Mosque, but you can walk around and look at anything you want. But if you look Jewish, you have to be in a guided group that walks in a certain route, straight, left, right, with police surrounding you. Why are the police surrounding them? It's not for their own protection. The police are surrounding them, filming to make sure they don't pray, to make sure Jews don't pray in the holiest place in their religion.
That's crazy.
That's how it works. That's apartheid, but it's Muslim apartheid. Israel's actually forcing apartheid on Jews. Muslims 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everybody else only.
Okay, so this would be like if, we still had a functioning country and you had groups of Muslims who kept breaking into like the largest cathedral in the country, okay, and doing the shahada and like praying with a aim to like transform the spiritual climate of the place. It's not just fuck me. It's for no reason, bros, right? Like, there's no such thing as history. Oh God. And look at them all. They're all of them. They're just lapping it up. They're like, oh wow, that's amazing. I never knew any of that. Oh my God, read a fucking book. Jeez.
Well, no, I think Tim is trying to not give him any pushback. I mean, I feel like Tim is having a congressman on, and also, I mean, you have to remember, I mean, once the Trump administration reaches out to you, right, and he's worked with Trump, can you just really sever that tie so easily? I wonder what goes on in the background.
No, power is an incredible intoxicant.
Yeah.
For the right sort of people, right? Like some people have like an aversion to like raw power. Some people, it attracts them. And once they get a taste of proximity to power and not just power, but like the trappings of power, the uniforms and the walkie talkies in the sense that you're like close to the coalface where things are happening. For certain people, it is like a real drug kind of like thing. So I highly doubt that Tim is going, but I mean, he is criticizing Trump. So I don't know. He's probably trying to thread the needle between like getting his, like dishing his.
He's not going to go too hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you look Jewish, you're going to get arrested if you try to pray. What I would say is this: what kind of religion can't share? I have been to plenty.
I'm actually kind of jealous.
Fuck off.
I know, but dude, I'm actually kind of jealous of this.
Muslims 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everybody else only certain times. And if you look Jewish, you're going to get arrested if you try to pray. What I would say is this: what kind of religion?
So, but the police are following you around. Can I get that when I'm in a black neighborhood? Can I walk in there? I would love to walk around with the police following me.
What kind of religion can't share? That's why they let the Muslims into the synagogues, right?
It's over the top.
Like, what the fuck is this, dude? Oh my God.
Well, this is what they did in the 50s and 60s in terms of communism. They would allow people to come over and they had like one Christian church, but it was like for show. So like obviously Israel wants to pose as these very tolerant people and whatnot, but the way he says it though, wearing the fucking brain diaper. What is a religion that can't share? And let's hear about now when he's talking about sharing. Do you think he's going to be talking about Christianity sharing or Moodyism sharing? Is he going to be talking about the Mudeo-Christianity sharing? Let's see.
Can't share. I have been to plenty of Christian weddings and ceremonies.
Sounds like Christian sharing.
Ceremonies in my life. Never felt uncomfortable being there. I had Christians come to my bar mitzvah and my kids' bar mitzvah. All good. We can all live and we largely share.
Were they Mudeo-Christians though? This is what kills me. Is that we have a Mudeoed Christianity. Where is the Christianified?
No. But the thing is, right, this is a retarded comparison. Is he going to tell us about all the Christians that come to his synagogue?
Oh,
right? Because that's what he's really talking about, right? Like Al-Aqsa is a mosque. Okay, it's not just like a tourist site. It's not like where people just wander through with a camera and be like, ugh. It is a mosque. It is like, apart from, there's like another one in, oh my God, chat. It's one of the two most holy sites. The other one is the Kaaba, and there's another mosque in, I think it's in Basra, in Iraq. So it's one of the two most holy mosques in Islam. And if Christianity was like still a proper fucking religion, right, then you would have exactly the same kind of like stuff in churches. You'd be like, if you're not a fucking Christian, you're not coming in. This is a Christian place of worship. But oh no, like we have to let everybody in.
The same beliefs, but I have to be marched around if I look like a Jew in the holiest place of my religion, and Israel allows that. That is the Jewish state of Israel's decision, not only to not build a third temple, but to stop Jews from praying in the holiest place in their religion.
Is there a third temple, like a faction of people that are willing to? Because we've been talking about the end times philosophies and like a great war that will coalesce where Jesus comes back and destroys, the aberrant Jews that have strayed or whatever. And then, but like, would people bring that on themselves? Are people in government crazy enough to start World War III?
It's not government people who want that, but there certainly are people who want to build.
Oh, that is a lie.
What are you talking about?
That is 100% lie, right? The Temple Institute and other like apocalyptic right-wing Muish groups are in the Israeli government at the moment. They are a crucial part of Netanyahu's coalition. Oh, you liar. Oh, you pants on fire liar. Oh my, so bold.
You're invoking the pants on fire. Now you're really mad.
Oh my God, dude.
Want to build a third temple.
It's a big question. I know you don't have the answer to that question.
I'm not Israeli. I never went to Israel. It's one of the funny things about being me. I always get accused of being a dual citizen. I'd never even been to Israel until I was in my 30s. And none of my family is actually from there. But I've been there.
What is with the brain diaper then, right? There's obviously, he wasn't always wearing that, was he?
Well, I don't know. Let's
that's a new thing. When you see other pictures of him, he's not wearing that.
Yeah, well, you see, it's different, right? Like when Christians go around like saying Christ is king and wearing crosses, right? That is like obviously like a hate crime, right? But when he wears a kippah, okay, that is a sincere expression.
Never performative.
So look, he didn't used to. Here, wait, let me just share.
Even if he has a silly design on it, right?
So this is him in 2015.
Yeah.
Him at A&M University in 2020, not wearing a kippah.
Ooh, he went pretty quick.
Even when he was being sworn in, the House of Representatives. So it seems like he's gone to Israel and all of a sudden had like a big Muish explosion, as it were. Wait, is he? Oh, it looks like he's wearing one there. This is May 2025.
Right. Yep.
So it's
nice.
a recent affectation.
Yeah.
See, look.
Yeah. But that's perfect. It's an affectation. Yes.
Yep.
So is he religious or what's his relationship with that? It's always kind of wishy-washy, All of a sudden, though, he got really into it for whatever reason.
I mean, imagine the propaganda you must be subjected to, right? Like if you're Muish and you get into a position of political power in America, right? Like just imagine, let's just assume for argument's sake, right?
Sure.
That up until the point that he ran for Congress, he was just completely apolitical, right? He was just like Moshe down at like the local bagel shop, right? Like doesn't give a fuck, right? He's just, look, I just want to be an American and live my life, right? Then he gets elected to Congress. Okay. I don't know how that happened. I would suspect fuckery in that appointment, but maybe I'm just being suspicious. Maybe it wasn't. Okay. And then he goes to Israel, and then all of a sudden you can just imagine there'd be like Shlomos left and right being like, when was the last time you took halakha, right? And have you gone and seen like, Schneerson's like tomb and no. The pressure must be amazing.
We've covered this with Tommy Robinson and with James Lindsay when they go over there. This is what really switched Ardy onto the JQ was Douglas Murray being like, I went to Israel and then I found out they gave him a journalism award. And I'm like, how are we acting like this is objective in any way, shape, or form. And then James Lindsay goes there and comes back and sounds like this.
That's Israel. Hi.
Crying, thinking about it. Crying, thinking about it.
The shit with Tommy Robinson was peak. Like
I know, and
I just can't. But like for someone who puts himself, out there as being such a tough guy, right? Just seeing him being like talked out, like he looked like he was 8 years old,
immobilized,
like in like a primary school classroom, right? And the teacher's like, "That's a bad time. Put your hand on the book." Like, oh my god, mate. Fucking...
Absolutely emasculated. Oh, actually, did you have something that you wanted to end with?
Did I have something I wanted to end with?
A little snack?
I got a brief update on the war, but I mean, nothing's really.
We got 5 minutes left if you want to cool down with that, and then whatever we got.
Okay. All right. So, just quick war update, bros. Nothing much is happening. And look, it could kick off any moment. When it does, I will be there to bring you the latest, well, not on the ground reporting, the latest on the couch reporting. Right? However, the US Department of State has literally admitted that they went to war because of Israel. Okay. So I quote, Operation Epic Fury in international law, as the United States has explained in multiple letters to the UN Security Council, the United States is engaged in this conflict at the request of and in the collective self-interest of its Israeli ally. So that's why. Okay, it's now been admitted by the State Department, right? Steadfast support for Israel's security has been a cornerstone of American foreign policy for every U.S. administration since the presidency of Harry S. Truman. So, right, there you go. Okay, it's been admitted. Now, another weird thing that's been happening is that Iran and Iraq, the countries around, are suddenly experiencing a bout of precipitation. Now, not many people realize that area has been in drought for like 20 years. And no doubt they're like blaming it on climate change. But apparently what happened is that the Iranians destroyed a weather control base in the UAE. And since all the cloud seeding has stopped, well, they've got rain again.
And Tucker, they're being used as a form of warfare. And we know that. We have countries like Iran, constantly demonized, of course, as you well know. Immediately after 9/11, we have the list of countries to be targeted given to General Wesley Clark, a list that clearly existed before 9/11 even occurred. Subsequently, every one of those countries, every one of them, endured a once in 1,000 year drought. Statistically, mathematically, that's impossible without climate intervention operations. And we have the leader of Iran on the floor of the UN, on film, on the record, stating NATO was cutting off their precipitation. We have Iranian top scientists recently stating NATO's been doing this for 40 years. Destabilize the food supply by destabilizing the rain, and you destabilize the population.
Now, look, this is not complicated to do, right? Like everyone's like, oh my God, like the radars and this shit. No. Look, there are basically sort of rivers in the sky where precipitation like moves from where it starts to where it like dumps. And what you can do is you can intervene in that river. You can spray particulates into the atmosphere and you can make it rain before the end of the river, if that makes sense. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so this is not complicated technology. They've been able to do this shit for years. It's called like cloud seeding. So the idea that they would be deliberately denying precipitation to countries that they are at war with is not, it's not even like, oh my God, it's a conspiracy. It's not a fucking conspiracy. The technology is very, very well understood. However, since this has happened, there's been like snow and rain in Iran, very, very, very weird weather patterns. And this is from Stormy Waters again.
Nice.
And he's quoting this paper, and I remember this paper, right? Because I'm a fucking weirdo autist, and even back in the 90s, I was on the early internet reading position papers, right? Weather as a force multiplier, owning the weather in 2025. August 1996.
Holy shit, dude.
Okay, right? And I remember in the 90s when all of this shit was like coming out and everyone was like, man, this is really goddamn bad, right? Like total information awareness, all of this like crap was gearing up and everyone was like, bruh, this is like going to be like bad stuff. But yeah, that's so. The ceasefire is still in effect. Nobody knows what the fuck is really going on. The blockade is still happening in Hormuz, but it sort of is and it sort of isn't. Some ships are getting through. It's look, I don't really know. Both sides, Trump just comes out every day and says something like weird. There were going to be negotiations. The Iranians didn't turn up. The Iranians said, like, we're not going to negotiate with you while you're blockading the Strait of Hormuz. It's weird. Oh, wait, hang on. I do have like one more thing. Wait. Where is it?
Get it, girl.
Wait. Yeah. Now, I do have some live footage from the Strait of Hormuz. This is quite shocking footage. By the way, this is live radio of what was happening in the Strait of Hormuz.
Dramatic scenes in the Strait of Hormuz, ships coming under fire as they try to transit the critical waterway. This audio shared with ABC News capturing a radio message sent by an Indian-flagged oil tanker.
You are fucking, you bloody bastard, bitch, fuck you, bloody, fucking mother, bloody, fuck, bitch, you, bloody, fuck you fucking bloody bastard.
Dramatic scenes in the
Sorry.
I say that at least twice a month. It'll come out of me. That was great.
So there you go. That's all the update on the war, basically. You got anything else to play us out?
The last thing that I have, okay, is I tried to get the Lindsayites into a logical puzzle, okay? So I said that this Lindsayites was doing a struggle session because, of course, Michael Knowles didn't say it exactly the way that she wanted him to say it, okay?
Uh-huh.
So Michael Knowles goes, obviously I don't agree with Tucker on this point. Watch the whole video. And she goes, I did. You did state disagreement, but it wasn't disagreement with Tucker's true premise, okay? So I'm like, this is a struggle session right now. There's no acceptable answer unless it's
wait. Expand this tweet. What was she like? What did he? Oh, you could have been more precise. Oh God, like literally 1 minute talking to a woman. Oh my God, come on.
So okay, now this is what I love happening. So then we're talking about what a struggle session is. Okay, now this person comes in and says, claiming Jackie is acting similar to Mao's goons because she publicly criticized a political pundit is farcical. And I said, struggle sessions are a form of criticism. And then they go, well, they were much more than criticism, often ending in the person getting beaten to death. And then I said, hey, I'm just using struggle session the same way James Lindsay uses struggle session. Okay. So are both of us wrong? Unless, of course, you disagree with the way he's using it. And I go, right, so James is also using it incorrectly. I'm completely fine and understand making a concession to you if you also admit that James Lindsay is wrong. So we're both wrong, right? And, of course, Be Straight to Capitalism says, nope, the only one right here is James Lindsay. They both stop responding. So that my new goal is to just say, hey, I just learned this from James Lindsay. Are both of us wrong? That's the new strat. It's going to be a very lonely strategy, but
okay, we got a couple of super chats to finish off with.
Sure we do, because the fellas are something else.
New GM for $5. Hey, new GE. Vote for the Democrats is Nick's signature move at this point. Yeah, but I kind of understand where he's coming from, right?
Sure.
Like if his bloc does not put out that it is willing to break from the Republican Party, then the Republicans are just going to take him for granted. You will only really, I guess, be able to know when it comes down to the wire. So, if he just says we're going to vote for the Republicans no matter what they do, they lose any leverage. That's politics.
Sure. But people would take Steven Crowder's voting block seriously. Nick Fuentes isn't known as really having a voting block, I would say. They're not viewed as like a powerful political force.
Numerically small, but very high engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I would dispute that, right? Like I would think that Crowder's sort of boomer core audience are much more passive. The Groypers are like properly active. They're basically like, I wouldn't say they're the white version of BLM, but they are activists. So they punch above their weight. So in terms of impact on political messaging, they are a force multiplier. That's what I'm getting at. Okay.
Yeah.
Is the night for $5? Thank you very much. I'll look at the profile pic. Normie wife asked where digital payments were being sent on Tuesday and Friday. I told her an OnlyFans model because it was easier than explaining being a nosy. Oh my God.
No, sweetie, I'm cheating on you. I promise.
Oh my God. Just porn. Just spending it on porn. Fucking
No, it's another woman, I swear.
Oh my God.
That's great.
King Spectre, $5, mate. Look at that profile picture. What kind of religion can't share? Amazing. Where do you even begin with a statement like that?
Dude.
Yeah, I know, mate. The definition of chutzpah. My God.
It's literally meant as antagonization. You can't convince me otherwise.
Right. Super Chat's achieved.
Did it.
Let's get out. Thank you very much, bros. He has been Ardy. I have been Fist. We'll be back on Tuesday. Come along to Fistery on Monday. We're going to be doing part 3 of the weird fantasies of Rabbi Yodel Rosenberg and his like weird book about the Golem, which has turned into like a very, very strange Harlequin romance novel. It's a fun time. And check out Clown-Based Lifeforms. There's another episode released a couple of days ago. It's all on my channel. You can get to it at newsfist.net or just search for Newsfist on
Link in the description.
YouTube.
Your link is in the description.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, bros. We have the best fellas. Thank you for everyone who super chatted. Last words, Ardy?
Yeah. I'm going to send you fellas to Jake Rattlesnake watching Andrew Wilson making fun of some clam. So enjoy that, fellas. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for participating. Thanks for being in a jovial and chipper mood, okay? Don't let them take that from you, okay? You control how you feel more than you control what these crazy motherfuckers do. We do this to make you feel better, okay? Not so you get into a wormhole of a black pill, okay? So take control of your life. And yeah, I'm going to end it like Jerry Springer. Take care of yourself and each other. Have a good night, fellas.
Good night.
Ardy and Fist. You can be sure that we're both on a list. Ardy and Fist. You can be sure that we make the moves pissed. Streaming through history, uncovering mysteries as to why the whites are living in misery. We keep the audience salivating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of the ever-evolving.